McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021 years after zero. Massive sports show for you today right here on Sirius. Thanks to Twine for that beat drop, obviously. There is some news popping off in the sports world. Allegedly, Deshaun Watson has okayed 3 different spots for him to be traded to if he was to be traded to, but the Houston Texans have stated over and over again, we are not trading the player. We're not even answering calls. So if Deshaun Watson has reportedly gave the okay to 3 different locations, who's he giving the okay to? The media? Or is he giving the okay to Cesario, who now has a gig with the Houston Texans as general manager as the whole place is burning down? Now, we do understand that Deshaun Watson does have a lot of control in this whole thing. If he just wants to sit out the entire season, the Houston Texans won't have a quarterback and they'll be in a tough situation yet again next year. But the Houston Texans can also say, we ain't trading you. Sorry, pal. You're too fucking good at the football. We ain't trading you, which is what they've said. I have a feeling, though, that this guy that I'm wearing right on my chest, old Jack Easterby, is going to have something to say to this. Him and Deshaun potentially going to pray their way back into the good graces of each other. Maybe they will get the Houston Texans into a good position, but it seems like the more and more we talk about it, the more and more the days go by, the more and more information that gets handed out that Deshaun Watson's okay going to the Jets, the Dolphins, or the Panthers, the more and more it feels like the Houston Texans might be forced to trade this guy or not have a quarterback for the entire season. Deshaun will miss out on a lot of money, but he can make that money up other places. He has a burger place, if you do recall, or a sandwich place that actually caused a COVID violation this year whenever his teammates went down there. The guy's got business ventures. He's got money. He's going to be an incredible football player. Maybe a year off, taking a little time to himself. Maybe, go and do a little business ventures and maybe, rest the body a little bit. Maybe he'll be even better next year, but he will still have to be Houston Texan until they say you can leave. Who knows what Jack Easterby is going to do, but if I know anything about one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, Jack Easterby, he'll do the right thing in the end. That's what Jack Easterby does. Speaking of doing the right thing in the end, fresh off a vacation. Fresh.
Yep.
Off a blown tire in his new pickup truck. Fresh with a brand new tan, joining us back in studio, COVID Cowboy Tone.
Tony.
Welcome back, Tone. How was the vacation? How was the trip?
Awesome. Just drink some booze and get some sun.
A lot of booze I've seen.
Yeah.
You blacked out.
Yeah, I was keeping up with you on the
I
internet.
forgot to eat.
See, that can happen. By the way, I was going to say you look good, and I don't know if it's because if you can't tan it, because you do have a little bit of color. But
I have gained a lot.
It also does seem. Oh, you have. So you did eat and drink late night.
Yeah.
I did see you pass out on a pizza box. I was wondering who was eating the pizza because I had a bunch of those. By the way,
What
happened?
I forgot to eat, and I drank a lot.
Then he passed out on what he was supposed to eat. Get off the guy.
Eat it.
Okay, he's an adult.
That was Friday. My wife's birthday was Saturday. I knew Saturday was going to be her day, so Friday's my day.
Hero, COVID Cowboy.
Tony Fridays.
Speaking of sports, though, let's get back to sports.
Yes.
You went into your COVID cave for 2-3 weeks, whatever, lost some weight, became one of the best gamblers in history because you were just diving into the stats and analytics of everything. Whenever you hear Mike Tomlin has COVID right now, he got it last week. He said, thanks everybody for the prayers and the positive energies and everything like that. He feels good. He's going to keep it moving. Feels like there's a good chance a lot of the NFL players and staff who have been on COVID lockdown all season. By the way, a couple head coaches got it, right? A couple head coaches in the NFL got it.
Oh, yeah.
If I do recall.
Yes.
There was like the voice of God thing happening. A couple college coaches got it as well.
I believe the Detroit Lions interim head coach, maybe.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
Stefanski got it, right?
Oh, yes.
I do. Stefanski got it.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton got it. But if you're a head coach and you see the way it looks whenever players get it or whenever other coaches get the way everybody talks like, oh, what did they do wrong? What did they do wrong? The head coaches in the NFL, they knew they could not Head coaches are normally locked down all season. I would assume this season even more so for coaches and quarterbacks in big-time positions. I bet the message was being sent loud and clear. If y'all motherfuckers get it, we're in deep shit. Tomlin, all these other head coaches, they probably hadn't seen public or air since the beginning of the season. I would assume 80. That's a lot. That's a high number. 75, 80% of people that were in that COVID protocol this season, though, right now at this point are okay with just go ahead and give me the goddamn COVID at this point. They're not worried about a damn thing. We hope Mike Tomlin's okay, but I assume if they're going to report every person that is in the NFL that gets COVID this offseason, that's going to be a busy time. I think that's probably going to be a lot because I've been watching a lot of videos on Instagram and these guys in their free agent in their offseason that they're having, guys are living. Because all season they couldn't do a damn thing. Let's assume a lot of people are going to get it. We hope everybody survives.
We hope.
That is obviously what we hope. But you're a COVID cowboy. You went through it. It is not a desirable thing to get, but I do believe a lot of guys are probably going to get it. Tomlin has it. Let's hope he remains.
No, it's not desirable. Tomlin does not live in his fears. He is a strong human being. He will be okay. Mike Tomlin.
We don't care.
He doesn't care. But he did care during the season. And all the players did care. And they realized it takes all of us. But I would love to see that 75, 80% that you mentioned. I would love if they brought in the players now and the coaches now, a few weeks out, testing them all.
Test them
to
all.
See how
Well,
many
Kenny Moore was here yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Kenny Moore was here yesterday. He said he either got his first test or second test. He probably has to get more, 3 or whatever, to get back into the building to do workouts and everything like that. He just landed 2 days ago or whatever. He came in the office. We were socially distant. But it'll be interesting to think if these players are going to live up to the same standards that they were living during the season so that they can remain in the same protocol to get in the building. How will that affect the growth of players going forward? You know, the new CBA already doesn't allow for players to practice. I mean, it's veteran-based. The vets don't want to practice because they don't have the time, okay? The young guys need it. But there's no guys, I would assume, that are going to sign up to stay in the protocol all offseason and work out in the building. There's going to be a lot of at home. That could affect some things going forward. That really could be a potential issue. Last year was like kind of happened out of nowhere. We're doing Zoom workouts now. How you doing? This offseason, though, now you're starting about people starting a trend. For instance, I always worked out at the facility. I stayed in Indianapolis. A lot of people left. They have their own trainers. People go to Arizona. People go down to Florida. There's a lot of places. I would assume those numbers are going to go up for all those places. And if guys see success doing that, look for the offseason next year, the year going forward, if it's even handled now. Yeah, I know there's variants coming out, okay? But the next year going forward, a lot more guys are going to be away from the facility, and I think that's just going to be something that's going to linger along here for the next 10, 15 years.
And we talked to Taylor Lewan during the season while he was going through his rehab.
No way, he said.
He's like, no, I'll do it on my own. Like, I assume all these players and all these private workout places are getting huge increased numbers of athletes coming through there.
I wonder if they are testing everybody in there every day.
I doubt it.
I would doubt it as well.
No way.
That guy's got COVID, we think, but he's got to get better today. You getting better or getting worse? It's one or the other. That's all it is. At Boston Connor, how you doing? Keep it moving.
Fantastic, Pat. You know, yesterday, two legends in the music community, Daft Punk retired, and today I figured, you know, now that I've accepted it, I put on these shades and just say, you know, thank you, Daft Punk.
Thank you, Daft.
That's a tough one, isn't it? Thank you, Daft Punk.
Thank you, Daft Punk.
That's a tough
DP
one.
would be easier, probably.
Yeah, well, DP is actually pretty difficult from what I've been told, but Daft Punk had a hell of a run. Daft Punk innovating. You're in the back there, guy that controls the microphones?
Of course, Jay.
One of the biggest Daft Punk fans going, actually. Yeah, I assume Jay had a little moment
very
there
distraught
where
with
his
show.
heart was shook whenever Daft Punk retired.
I haven't listened to him for 20 years, but I was a big fan back in the day.
They've been
That's not what you said yesterday, Jay.
Well, and also, by the way, I don't think anybody has listened to Daft Punk within the last 15 years. A lot of people would assume
probably
they
not.
retired decades ago, but shout out to them for what they did.
28 years. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's a long time making music. And there was a video. What's that, Nick? You're a big Daft Punk guy?
No, I think Jay is because they never talked, so I think that's why he enjoys them so much.
Because they had
Did they start
That was my
EDM?
favorite
the
part.
marshmallow. They did have the helmets.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing, yeah.
Darude was
they-
the starter.
Oh, Darude, yeah. Sandstorm.
Of course.
I'll tell you what, Flip Cup game, that song came on in the house, undefeated. I don't think I've ever had two flips with that song on. Just so you know, that song comes on, it's here we go. How you doing? Keep it moving. Darude, though, Sandstorm, obviously electric there. What Daft Punk did, though, is they would take old songs and then they would mix it, obviously, and create. Somebody tweeted out yesterday, some super musical person was like, what Daft Punk did with this particular beat was insane. And it's an old song, like maybe a 50, 60 song. And then they would clip like 3 different parts and then they would repeat and put it back in the whole thing. And the way they made their beats, it was just like, holy shit. Their work with Kanye was obviously definitely memorable and everything like that. They are innovators in the music world, and I couldn't fucking tell you what they look like.
No, that's
You
the best
might
part.
be a Daft Punk member. Right?
I wish, but I mean, that is what you strive for. Just to be able to put on a helmet. You don't even know who I am. How we doing?
That DJ situation, we were going to make a documentary last year, I think. Yeah, last year I think it was. I was going to create a helmet that had lights on it. What was that going to be? DJ Light Up Head? What was it?
DJ Light.
DJ Light Up Helmet? DJ Lighthead? DJ Lighthead.
I think it was like.
I think it was DJ Lighthead. And I was going to buy a bunch of followers. And I had a bunch of DJ friends here in town, and they were just going to create me a list or whatever. Because there was a point where all these notables were doing all this DJing shit. Now, listen, there are some celebrities that are great DJs. Okay, I'm not knocking that, but it became the thing where people. What's that? Go ahead.
Shaq.
Exactly. Like Shaq Diesel is a good DJ and everything.
Paris
Like,
Hilton.
and I've seen the whole thing. But there for a while, there was just celebrities just basically stealing money from DJs. They would have a playlist. They would act like they were doing. So we were going to make an entire documentary about it and expose like how big a bullshit it was. We're going to say that I just got off tour in Europe or whatever. We probably would have got booked at 15 to 20 bars if we wanted to, and it was just going to be somebody else's thing I was going to hit play for and whatever, and just fucking bob the head.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
Just
all you need.
That's all you got to do. Daft Punk did a lot more than that, though. Have a little fucking.
They're
respect.
French.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well, I didn't know that.
Guy, his name is Guy, and the other guy's name's Thomas.
Don't call me Guy, pal.
That's what you think.
That's what it says.
Connor, they're not Canadian. I'm sorry, Gumpy, they're not Canadian, but you are. How are we doing in gambling? What are we betting on tonight? Anything sweet?
We got a boatload of college basketball, English Premier League, and Champions League today, Pat.
That's a lot of money to be made if you bet on the right things. Mitt had a completely ice cold night, but he said you either win or you either lose or you're due or something
He
like
did.
that.
He did solve sports gambling last week as well. So.
Well, yeah, you just got to double down every single
you
time.
just keep doubling.
We'll talk about some of the gambling things today because there's really not that much to talk about aside from Deshaun Watson. NBA Top Shot's taking over the world. $208,000 gift was sold in this NBA Top Shot, which is a 3D digital playing card, which is going to take over for all the cardstock playing cards that are currently running up yodelly the prices. NBA Top Shot is a pretty fascinating thing. Our poll is NBA Top Shot a real thing? Ain't that right, Zito?
Yep.
And what are the answers right now if we could get an early results quick thing?
Yep, with over 21,000 votes. Right now, last place, yes, 8%, no, 10%. And then, what is NBA Top Shot? 82%.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the poll was, is NBA Top Shot a real thing or not? So we're entering this time where people are fascinated by investing in making money off their money and everything like that. Like it's an interesting time, which, by the way, is good for the future. All right, young entrepreneurial mindset. Jay, just vote yes. There we go. Okay, just young entrepreneurial mindsets are taking over everywhere. We saw it in the meme stocks. We see it with Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Now with NBA Top Shot, it's a revolution of the old school with the modern look on it, with a lot of the power that we now have as a people due to social media being able to unite folks basically. Okay, so NBA Top Shot is this new way of looking at playing cards, which, by the way, I never got into, but goddamn, Lefko, Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Okay, the playing card community is one where they're making a lot of money. It's a good idea. I see it from afar. I never got into it. It looks like it. This NBA Top Shot thing, though, seems very interesting to me. I tried to look into it a little bit. It's a digital card. Looks like a GIF, but you get to own it. For instance, Nick Morotto last night spent $82
got in too late.
on a GIF, a video of Jimmy Butler knocking down a big-time shot. I bought a Zion Williamson dunk for $500.
Good one.
Okay? No idea what I'm buying or why I'm buying it, but it feels like if enough people get behind it as a people, it's going to only continue to go. Now, this morning, Bitcoin was taking quite a hit, okay? It's taking quite a hit, but that's going to happen over the long. It feels like the NBA Top Shots, the Bitcoin, the Doge coins, the AMCs, the GameStops, all these things where people can kind of come together and realize like, oh, if we start putting money into something, we can all make money. It's not just going to be the same old hags just raking in all the money.
Oh, no.
I love it. So I got in on the game. Okay, I got a Top Shot thing. I have no idea if it's real or not. I have no idea where it's headed. I spent $500 for a gift that I could probably just find. And we also released a Top Shot card out of the office.
Yes.
Me hitting a step back jumper to win with Connor on the commentary. I mean, that thing's going to sell for $150. Want to let you know, it says it's one of one. But if you screen record, you can destroy it.
That's right.
You can just rip that thing yet again, which is the interesting thing about the Top Shot.
Yep.
I don't fully understand how that's going to work, but I know that I'm in on it. I can't wait for it to continue to go. And the fact that something sold for $208,000 feels like it's potentially money laundering, okay?
Ooh.
Might be people hiding drug money or whatever, but I don't care. If they're going to hide drug money with that Zion dunk that I got, I'm cool with it. I will take it. No big deal.
Did you get a sweet dunk or?
Yeah, it was good. There was actually a layup and rebound. Top Shot cards put together. It was a bunch of gifts of Zion doing layups.
Oh.
And that was the first one Bailey was trying to sell me.
Yeah.
And I said, find a dunk. We found a dunk, 500 some bucks.
You're up 10% now.
600 some bucks now?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Wow.
about. Nobody
Yeah,
knows
that's
how
quick.
or why. Nobody knows how or why, but that son of a bitch is going up. Bitcoin's currently going down. That'll come back up. Buy the dips. Okay, let's go ahead and go for it. But the Top Shot thing, I really think is taking
No
off.
one knows what it is or what it means or anything about it, Pat, but those poll results are promising because the less people know, the more money there is to be made. I just couldn't risk you losing out on – you lost out on Dogecoin, you lost out on Bitcoin, you lost out on the Argon nuts. I couldn't see you lose out on this trend as well. You need to cash in on Top Shot.
A lot of people think that, I've missed out on a lot of things. Which those people would be right. You know what I mean? Those people would be right. The argon oil and nuts, the Moroccan oil,
The original, yeah.
that should have been me.
They're rich.
That should have been me. Okay, I should have been making hair, skin, everything look younger, better. It's in every single product at this point. It does not matter. It could be a face wash. It could be a shampoo. It could be a goddamn exfoliating thing. There's argon nuts in there. I had to plug the connection. Could have been the handshake. Hey, I'm not actually part of the business. I'm just introducing to people. Got drunk on a boat, lost the guy's number. He probably has $1 bazillion now. I'd assume he has new phone who dis at this point, if I was to find that number. Bitcoin, very early in the game, I was asked if I wanted to buy Bitcoin. I said, that's fake money. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't doing it. Now it's $47,000 and falling per Bitcoin, but I could have got that thing whenever it was just a couple $100. A few of them probably said, no, don't want it. Esports, there was a game, a team that was offered for me to invest in like 5-10 years ago. I said, I don't play video games. I'm not the right guy. That thing has gone up to like $30-40 million at this point. Dogecoin, did not get at the beginning of the dog run. Okay, but then as soon as I saw Elon Musk talking, I get in, guess what? She goes down. Okay, so maybe it was me being a mush there for the Doge. When it comes to Bitcoin, though, I have gotten into the game. All right, I have gotten in the game here, a little bit like, if my new rule is if Elon Musk, our alien, is doing it, I'm following.
Pretty good
So
rule.
Elon Musk is from another planet. He is our alien. If he's investing in something, I'm going. So if he buys a Top Shot, by the way, look out. I'm getting those Zion rebounds fucking tomorrow, Connor.
Oh, and it makes no sense because that $208,000 card was like a random LeBron dunk that he has 1,000 of in a game they lost. Like, once they release the ones of, like, him winning game winners and blocking shots and all that, those might go for, what, $1.5 million?
Yeah, well, the goal is that Zion's dunk, in like 10 years from
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Now, the quality of that's probably going to be 8K 10 years from now. So, well, the fact that it's only a basic beat-ass 4K camera make it better. Like the cards, it'll be in mint condition for the time still. I'm excited to see how this all plays out. I have invested in something I know nothing about numerous times. This is just another one of those situations, but let's hope Zion goes and continues to yodel on the Top Shot thing, which I would assume he would. I would assume
You would
Zion
think.
is going to go on and be the guy on there, right?
Yeah, you got in like a stage 1, so like that card you have is going to be like, it's like that baseball card that sold for like $5 million, not many of.
Yeah, but
That's what you're going to have.
Bro, aren't all those motherfuckers just hiding money? Isn't that what?
We talking laundry?
It's like art.
Yeah, like art. I believe art is just those super high up people owe other people money, and they're like, how can we give you this money for this side bet we made? Oh, I get it. Sneeze onto a fucking piece of paper, and then I'll give you $1.25 million for that thing. Like, I don't understand how, like those sports cards. I respect the sports cards collectors or whatever. It makes no sense to me that little card stock is worth millions of dollars or whatever. I respect it. I appreciate it. And everything is worth exactly what somebody's willing to pay for it. Let's just hope that Top Shot does do the same trajectory as all the other bullshit.
Plus, you don't have to deal with art thieves Or people like O.J. Simpson
Where?
busting in your hotel room trying to get their sports memorabilia back.
Oh,
No, you gotta
hackers
deal
will
with
have my
hackers.
fucking top shot like this. You don't have to worry about accused murderers breaking in and stealing your shit. You got to worry about 12-year-olds that are smarter than you'll ever be going, Zion's rebounds and dunks are now mine. Then they get an email like, you can get it back for 2x of what you paid for. I'm like, thank you, hacker. Okay, you know what? Make it 2.5. Here you go. Can I please get my digital cards back? That's what I'm going to have to deal with forever, and that's why you got to get a good firewall out there.
That is a classic
You got a Top Shot
ransomware.
wallet?
What's
You
that?
got a Top Shot wallet?
No, that's only for Bitcoins. Don't be a stooge, dude.
Yeah,
Come on, Tony.
When the NFL top play shot cards, whatever the hell they're going to be called, come out, you got to make sure you get yours because, hey, those are your plays. Those should be your cards.
Yeah, that onside kick to myself, I'd like that for free. You're welcome.
Holiday hit,
Please, I'd like that for free.
bring it in.
The NBA is making money off of this, though,
Oh, yeah.
which is a good idea because as the ratings are going down, they're going to have to figure out ways to profit off of their clips because that is literally how the NBA is consumed is via clips. A lot of people can come out and say the NBA's ratings are terrible, the NBA's doing terrible or whatever. I watch more NBA now than I ever have in my entire life, and it's strictly on social media. It's via the clips. They have to figure out how to make money off those clips. This seems to be the way to be doing it. They got people paying $208,000 for their star player doing a dunk.
You think LeBron's seen any of that money?
Yes.
Yeah, they're getting.
Well,
I would assume it goes into the revenue split, right? Which would then go into the players.
The NBA's getting like 2.5% or something like that.
of NBA Top Shot?
Yeah.
What's his
Oh, so
free
they're
throw
working
going
terrible
for?
deals. Mark Cuban needs to get out fucking Shark Tank and into the NBA negotiation deal. They're only getting 2.5% on their clips with their players in their thing for shit that's going for $80 for Jimmy Butler jumper is happening. They're getting 2.5% of that. Maybe the NBA is in deep shit.
I got in with $1.
really.
Oh, yeah.
What you get?
January 2nd, I got a Kobe White. It's worth $50 now.
Wow.
how about that?
Are you fucking Warren Buffett, dude?
I
That's
think so.
50x.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50x in a couple months, this dude.
And NBA players are getting in. Friend of the show, Spencer Dinwiddie, he posted on Twitter saying, like, hey, you guys want to send me some top shots? Go ahead. I'm accepting right now.
Yeah, hold on. There's a football player that just opened a card store in Los Angeles.
Marsh.
Cassius Marsh. Yeah. He inked his whole body. He don't give him money. Joining us here in about a minute or so will be Chris Godwin. Shout out to him winning the Super Bowl. Woo! Pro Bowl, All-Pro, going to be a free agent too, potentially. I don't know if I heard Bruce Arians during the Super Bowl boat parade talk about how your ass ain't going anywhere. I do know that open negotiations had begun for Bruce and for Light down there trying to keep the boys together. If you're Godwin, though, you got to think you can go make some money. There are some free agents out there, though, in the wide receiver market that is going to be very interesting to see where they end up. Do you pick a great quarterback or do you say, hey, I got to go get paid? Julian Edelman now, Dan Marziano of ESPN is reporting that he's potentially going to be cap casualty for a $6 million roster bonus he's owed next year, potentially getting cut. And Dan Marziano said you'll see him go back down there to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like it's nothing. Ooh. I don't know how many spots do they have down there where people can just go, you know, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here? Because it's not Julian Edelman will be able to do whatever he wants, especially because Tom Brady or whatever. But all these wide receivers that are out there, T.Y. Hilton's going to be out there on the market. Mm-hmm. He's a great player. Chris Godwin, the guy's about to join, he's an incredible player. He's going to be on the market. I mean, he probably hasn't even gotten into the business thought of the whole thing because he's still celebrating. But we might as well just go right to the horse's mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, join us now, Super Bowl champ, All-Pro, wide receiver, Chris Godwin.
Yes!
Chris, how you doing, dude?
I am doing great, man. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, you're about to get paid, dude. Paid. Yeah.
Hey, that's the damn goal. You know what I mean? Is to get paid and to, be able to take care of my family.
Well, the purpose of going to college is to find out what your profession is. Okay, so anytime somebody leaves early, I always get so intrigued by people who are like, he shouldn't leave early. It was like, well, the purpose of college was to find a job. You just got a job now. And then when you get your job, the purpose of your job now is to get paid. You're in an interesting moment now. You're about to be a free agent, but you're coming from a team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that just maybe about to really start to take off. How much of that conversation has to weigh into the fact that obviously your job is to take care of your family? That's why you are in the NFL. It is a business. It is your profession. But also, how much of it is like, hey, Tampa's got something very special going. There has to be some sort of, have you even started thinking about strategy or what you're going to think of going forward yet? Let's just stare at each other. What if he doesn't answer?
Delay.
Is there a delay?
There should be a delay.
Chris, can you hear me? Oh, this is awesome. I'm not going to talk about it. Is that what's going on right now?
Delayed? I don't.
This is amazing.
It's still going through.
Can you hear me?
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh, Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, in and out.
Oh my God! I thought you just had one of the best moments in history. I asked you about your free agent strategy, and you were just sitting there completely quiet. I was like, did he decide not to answer? That was amazing. I was so happy if that was the case. Turns out you can hear me. So let me run this back. Tampa Bay, the team, obviously, Bruce Arians is publicly negotiating right now with some people. Your ass ain't going nowhere. Your ass ain't going nowhere. You got Tom Brady as a quarterback. Your job is to make as much money as possible. That's why you're in the NFL. How interesting is that situation now that the Bucs are about to heat up, it seems like, just won a Super Bowl. You're about to hit free agency. How much of that conversation has happened between you, your representation, the Bucs, and everything like that, maybe even you with yourself?
Yeah, man, that's very, very interesting, right? Because like you said, like the team is heading in the right direction, and like this is something that I saw kind of happen over the last couple of years. You know, like me and Mike would have conversations, like even like going back to last year about how like we felt like we were like right there. We had like the right, core group of guys to really make a run. We just needed, a couple more pieces, and then you get Tom, and then it takes off in year one. I know a lot of people didn't really expect it to end how it did, but shoot, like that was a goal for us. And so for me, like going like looking at free agency, I'm like, that's definitely something that I'm really considering. Is like one like I want to be here. Like I love the guys on the team. I think we got something special. But at the same time, you got to consider all the possibilities out there, and consider doing like what's best for you and your family.
Long time you've worked for this moment. Like this is a lot of years in the making, free agency. This is a massive ordeal for you and your family. So congrats, by the way. Congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, no problem. Not a lot of people get to this point where there's potentially a massive bank just sitting on the other side of a signature on a piece of paper. You know what I mean? Like that is a very, very cool thing. Let's talk about that core that you talked about over the last couple of years growing, and then Tom coming in there. When Tom showed up, what did you learn specifically from watching him, or what did he do to the building you think that really rallied the troops to take it to the next level?
I think the biggest thing that he brought was just the mentality of expecting to win over kind of hoping to win, right? Like we've had a bunch of talented guys, for years, but could never really put it together. And so, like just the history of the team kind of creeps into your mind. You go into games like, as a competitor, you're like, yeah, we can win this, but like, you're really just kind of hoping to win. But this year, we approach every single game like we damn sure can win this game. Like there's no reason why we couldn't. Especially as the season progressed, even when we hit like our our little slump in November, we didn't really waver. We knew that we were taking our growing pains as the season was going, because we didn't have any OTAs or anything like that to really learn each other. You know what I mean? And then we had like once the playoffs hit, there was no doubt in our mind that we were going to win. It was just a matter of showing everybody else.
You and Mike Evans were a massive part of the conversation for why Tom Brady chose Tampa potentially. Now, there's a bunch of bullshit out there that some teams weren't interested in Tom and blah, blah, blah. But I think we all know, anybody that's ever played in the NFL is like, if a team could have got Tom Brady, there's a couple teams, obviously, that have their quarterback or whatever, but Tom Brady coming in their building makes everybody better. But whenever he signed there, we kind of sat back and we're like, okay, so he's got the best group of weapons he's ever had. Mike, Chris, I mean, that was before we even knew about Scoot, Scotty Miller. I mean, that was Ronald Jones, the entire squad. It was a big part of why everybody thought Tom potentially wanted to go to Tampa, with you and Mike being just weapons. Now, if you were to think about going on the market anywhere, do you think about who else is potentially on the offensive side with you? Because obviously you and Mike benefited from each other, right, for a while now. Add in there Gronk, AB comes in there. It definitely helps. Not saying you would need it, but it's definitely one of those things where you have to think about it. I would assume quarterback and other offensive weapons is something you're going to have to consider whenever you're thinking about where you're going, not just money-wise.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. The goal obviously is to get paid, right? But at the same time, I'm not stupid. Like I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be miserable for some years to come just for a couple extra dollars. Like I think my happiness is paramount in all of this, and part of that happiness is winning, and like you said, just having extra, a bunch of different guys on the offensive side that can make your job a little bit easier, but also give you the best chance to win is something that I'm strongly considering. It's a big reason why I want to be here. I know I can trust my dogs when it's time to go to battle.
Bruce Arians and you have a great relationship, or no? Have you got to know each other well? He is electric.
Yeah, man. Hey, BA, he's a great guy, man. Like, beyond the football stuff, I got a lot of respect for BA, the way he conducts his business, the way he carries himself. Like, he's not going to sugarcoat anything to you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're playing bad, he's gonna let you know straight up, like, yo, you're playing like shit. But if you're not, you're playing good. He's right there behind you, and he's not gonna throw you under the bus. I got a lot of respect for BA.
Whenever you think about this free agency market, have you thought about teams or places that could be interested? Have you and your people had full-on meetings? Or are we celebrating and enjoying the Super Bowl still?
Really just stopping, celebrating from the Super Bowl. Nice. Like that, it took me a little while to recover from the parade.
Did you ever get your phone? Did you ever get a new phone? Did Verizon show up with a phone? They should have. They should have had a boat fucking come right out to you.
Listen, the next day, like less than 24 hours, Verizon came through for your boy and got me with a new phone, man. They looked out. So I appreciate that.
That video is hilarious. Hey, is this live? Yeah. I know you're going to see this, Verizon. I got my that was an amazing. You were not happy. You were the only person on the boat that seemed to not be having the time of their life, because there was a real moment that was like, look at all these cameras out. I can't do it because 4-2 Scotty Miller threw my shit in the goddamn river.
Man,
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I'm telling you, like that's exactly what it was. Like I'm sitting here with my phone, and like, mind you, like I'm not even like the type to really be on my phone and stuff like that, especially in that moment. But like, I was about to go live. I'm like, man, let me try something a little bit different. Yeah, see, that's the last time I'm doing that shit. I ain't going live no more. Now my phone's at the bottom of the Tampa River. You know what I mean? But it worked out in the end. But it had me sick for a moment there.
What happened? What happened? You tried to hold it? You batted it out of your hands? What happened?
So I pulled out my pocket, right? And I'm just holding it, about to go live or whatever. And like, I see him stumble. I'm like, yo, I can't let my boy go take a dive in the Tampa River. You know what I mean? Like, I can get a new phone. I don't know if we can get a new Scotty. You know what I'm saying? And so I tried to stop him, and it's like it hit the back of his like shoulder or something. It just hit my phone right out my hand, and it was a wrap from there.
Scotty doesn't even remember that happening, I bet. Scotty has no idea that happened. Your offensive weapons, I just listed through them. But when Gronk, AB, Leonard Fournette get added into that, kind of attitude. And then I think whenever Gronk was signing, one of the tight ends said they wanted to be traded or whatever. I forget who it was, but
O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard said, I want to be traded or whatever, and that obviously ended up working out. He did not get traded, and everything bought in there. But was there ever a moment of, like, how are we all going to gel? Like, whenever you guys, there was helicopters flying over, and Tom was throwing balls, and then A.B. gets added, and then Leonard Fournette gets added into that thing. Was there a thought of, like, is there enough balls to go around? How will we gel? Was there ever a doubt, or did you just assume that it will all get figured out?
I mean, I think at different times there's like, jokes thrown around about how the ball is going to be spread around. But like, I think the only serious question was really just how we were going to gel. Because like, football is so unique, in terms of like being a team game. And like, it's not just like you throw the best players together and it's going to work. It don't work like that. So like, the fact that we didn't have OTAs and stuff, and we're kind of like throwing together this makeshift like workouts and stuff and trying to get to know each other. It's like, man, like we got to make this shake like with the live bullets. You know what I mean? And like I said, like that's what happened in November. You start seeing us kind of losing to some of the tougher teams just because they had been together for a little while, a couple of years, and they put it together, and we were still figuring it out. But like I said, as the season progressed, there was no doubt in our mind that we were going to figure it out, because we knew that through all those tough moments, we were battle tested, and like whereas previous teams like would have folded. We fought back and we came together, and then playoffs hit, and now we hitting the ground running.
Second half of Atlanta, I think, is when everybody kind of looks back and they're like, okay, this is when the team really offensively started coming together. Was there anything that happened then? Was it like a backs against the wall moment? Was there a halftime speech, or did it just so happen to click in that second half?
There wasn't really like a halftime speech or anything, but it for damn sure was a back against the wall moment. Like we're 7-5 playing Atlanta. Fresh off a bye, and we're down 17 at halftime, and it's like, man, like we're fighting for our playoff lives now. So like every game from that point on was a playoff game, and we treated it like such. You know what I mean? And you'd be surprised what happened when your back's against the wall.
I'm happy you guys won a Super Bowl, man. But
You and me both.
I was thinking to myself right there. Imagine you guys don't even make the playoffs down there. Like there was a time in the middle of the year where it was like Tampa. A lot of it. Tampa is all hype. Bill Belichick obviously won in this entire thing. Tom can't even get his because as soon as Tom goes down there, I think the odds change. You guys win a Super Bowl like 500, maybe 600 points. It changed or whatever. Yeah. And then through the year, the thought of the no OTAs or preseason games or even being able to sit at the same table at the facility, those types of things really started coming in light. It was like, this team doesn't really get a chance to be around each other. That's why towards the end of the season, Clyde Christensen was like, if we had 8 more weeks, I think we'd only get better and better and better, which is why it's also interesting what happens going forward. Connor, what do you got?
Yeah, Chris, up until last year, you wore 12 for your entire playing career. Was there ever a thought to like make Brady give you like some stock in TB12, or did you just realize like, hey, this is the guy throwing me the ball, I'll give him his number?
Nah, it was just out of respect, man. I should have got some damn stock in TB12 though.
Yeah,
especially with him winning 7, and that stock's got to be going up.
Oh yeah.
But nah, it was really just like out of respect for the game, man. You know, Tom's been, you know, obviously so dominant his whole career, and like, you know, I think the way I looked at it was like hoping that something like that would come full circle. That like late in my career, if I won a number 12 and it was going to a new team and it's a young guy, would show me that same respect. You know.
You're gonna wear 12 if you go to another team, huh?
That's what I'll be going for.
Yeah.
You know, we'll cross that bridge if it ever gets here.
Wait until you hear us be like, Tom Brady forced Chris Godwin out of the number 12.
Made him leave.
He wins the Super Bowl.
And out of Tampa.
And then kicked him out. That'd be awesome, Diggs. What do you got?
Chris, Pat always tells a story about him getting franchised and he saw the money. He was like, that's awesome. But I know a lot of players are potentially against getting franchised. There's rumors the Bucs may do that for you if something doesn't get worked out long term. What will your thoughts be if you get franchised?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the same boat as like a lot of players. You know, like you want to get, you know, some long-term security. You know, you want the team to commit to you as well. And so like I think an extension would be ideal. But at the end of the day, you know, if the franchise is what happens, then like that's what I gotta do. You know what I mean? And then we'll revisit later. But
Bro.
you know, I want to be in Tampa, but at the end of the day, I want to get paid too.
You're going to make so much money if you hit the market. I mean, it is insane to think about. Like, I see you're in a very nice place there, obviously, but has that been something that is fully registered with you yet? We led off with, like, congrats, basically, you're about to get paid, but it is a real life changer. For instance, I got money that was nowhere near what you're going to get. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, holy shit. Like, okay, I'm a different person now than I was just a day ago. Like, I can go do whatever I want to do. Has it settled in, like, with friends, family, and everything like that? It's like, okay, we did what we had to do, all right? It was basically all one big job interview for this entire college, high school, college, even in the NFL. Now we're about to hit that point. Have you had that moment yet? I hope you get a chance to have that with your family and friends and be like, hey, we fucking did it. Like, hey, it's about to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big deal, dude. Yeah. Not a lot of people get that type of money to do something they work at. You're about to do it and you earned it. Like, that's something you should think about going in there and have that cool conversation.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't actually, like, had that moment yet. Like, it hadn't really, like, sunk in quite yet. Like, I'm aware of what's going on, but I don't think that moment will truly come until we actually like sign something. You know, like you said, it's been one long interview for, I don't know, what, 10, 15 plus years, you know, like your entire life. And I'm very much a guy that I don't like to count money that I don't have in my pocket. You know what I mean?
Smart.
And so like, you never know what happens.
Smart. That's very
so,
smart. Well, you should invest in Top Shot, NBA Top Shots.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
Oh man, we can turn that contract you're about to get into something real special. We go right in.
I would love that.
By the way, your contract is going to be special, regardless. You don't need Top Shot or Bitcoin to talk to you about that. But it is such because, for instance, whenever I went into it, I got offered a contract while I was hopping on a plane to go to Niagara Falls, Canada with my friend's little brother who just turned 19. So we're taking him to Canada to drink or whatever. I get a call with a contract offer for, over 5 years, multiple $1 million, but it was a terrible offer, right? It was a terrible offer. Like my agent that was at the time doing a conversation was like, they offered you this, they want the answer in 30 minutes. I was getting on a plane that did not have internet. Okay, so I'm hopping on this plane to go to Canada to celebrate Nick's little brother's 19th birthday. And I'm getting offered like this $8 million offer or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so much money. They're like, we need an answer right now though. And I'm like, I should be making more, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, whoa, that is $8 million. And you got like a flight attendant coming by, like, phone down, please. I'm like, lady, hold on. I got so I was like, tell him no or whatever. And then by the time I landed and got into Canada, I was franchise tagged the next morning. I was like, all right, I'm a fucking millionaire still. Let me sign this thing. I guess
I guess I'll sign it.
I guess I'll sign this thing. But it's going to be a very interesting process because and I don't know anybody, unless you come from, I guess, that world and your family is just ridiculously wealthy, whenever those numbers start getting put in front of you where you're like, I can actually do this, it is a really cool feeling. But also it's like, holy shit, too. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, and I can imagine that, too, But I think the great thing is that, like, I got some great agents, and I'm going to allow them to go to work and go to bat for me, you know what I mean? And trust the fact that, that we know where my value is, and that we're going to continue to push towards that because, don't want to sell yourself short. You know what I mean? As hard as it may be to turn down some of the most of the money I've ever seen in my lifetime, like beyond like what I've ever thought about seeing, but you got to trust the people that you hire to do their job.
Anything you think about you're going to be your first purchase? Anything cool? You're going to buy anything sweet?
Man, I haven't thought about anything like that crazy. Like I said, I don't like to count money that's not my pocket yet. That's where you get some trouble. You know what I mean? Then things start getting delayed. You like, man, but my pocket's kind of itching.
I bought a Cadillac Escalade the day after I was drafted in the 7th round.
Yeah.
Because I thought the signing bonus, just comes right into your bank account. Turns out that thing was delayed, 3 months? I almost got that thing in repo. I had no money. I had to go into the bank with a news clip, basically, and say, hey, this is what they're going to pay me or whatever. If you could defer the payment until then. I ended up paying like 27% interest or something. Damn. It was unbelievable, like a $200,000 Escalade.
Turns out you actually have to sign the contract to get the signing bonus.
Chris, you're awesome, man. You had a hell of a run. Enjoy the off season. Are you down in Florida still? I'd assume that's where is that home forever, even if you end up going somewhere else?
Yeah, it's home right now. You know what I mean? And I spend most of my off season here just because, like, who wants to go somewhere cold in the off season?
Yeah, I was just in Florida.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Stay there. I was just down in Florida. I flew back into Indiana. It was like -20. Where are you from originally, Chris?
I'm from Delaware.
Where'd you go to school?
Penn State.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I've been in the cold. And I won't be too thrilled to go back up there in February and March.
Hey, they stink, though,
Give people a reason coming down to Florida.
Hey, Penn State stinks. Why does Penn State stink? Is Penn State ever going to come back, Chris? What? They stink right now. The biggest moments, James Franklin almost fighting a fan a couple years ago. Yeah. I mean, are they ever going to come back? Penn State is an institution. I mean, some bad things happen, but it's a big-time thing, and they're nothing in relevance anymore. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, I think they'll bounce back. They had a rough year. I don't know what was going on, man. But it was tough to watch at times. You know what I mean? It's tough to watch your boys start off 0-5, and then but they flipped it around in the second half. I think they won like 4 straight or something like that. But that's unacceptable at Penn State, and I got faith that they're gonna bring it back.
How hard was this season with the COVID stuff? Was it much more difficult that from like outside looking in? Obviously, it seems weird. Can't eat lunch, Zoom calls, go home, don't do this, don't even change. You got plexiglass next to each other. But was it something you guys got used to, or was all year just like this sucks the entire time, basically?
I think we got used to it to a certain degree, but then like once you get to the playoffs, they cranked it up even more. So like we're getting tested twice a day. Like you can't see any of your family like at all. Like nobody visiting. Like it was just weird the entire year. And then you add on to the fact that like half the stadiums didn't have any fans. Like I don't know if there's been anything in football that I've experienced that was more weird than playing in New Orleans week 1, and it's this like silent dome, and it basically just feels like a high school like scrimmage. Like I can hear all the things that the other team's coaches are saying. I'm like, yo, like this is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I just we talked to Vita Vea yesterday, who might be one of the coolest. By the way, it seems like your old locker room is maybe just an incredible place. You have something, Connor?
Yeah, Chris, speaking of Vita Vea, did you ever call Sue Big Girl, or was that kind of a D-line?
Did you hear about this?
So I might have heard it once or twice, like just like in passing. But like me being a receiver, I'm gonna stay out of those big guys. I'm gonna stay out of their lane.
I mean, big
You feel me?
girl.
I was messing with Vita one time, man. Like I walked up behind him and like put him in like a bear hug, and like literally like in seconds, like my hands were like ripping apart, and I'm like, yo, this is the strongest human I've ever been around in my lifetime. So from that moment on, I was like, I gotta leave him alone.
Well, he trapped me into calling Ndamukong Suh Big Girl yesterday. And that is going to be something I think Ndamukong Suh is not going to just let that slide by. Chris,
At all.
Can't thank you enough for joining us, man. You're awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. I love the show.
Well, I mean, you're about to be like filthy rich. So our show is going to be a bit below you for a while, but you deserve it, pal. Enjoy this Super Bowl. Enjoy this whole free agency process. It can get a bit hectic from what I've been told from other people. I've never been in your world, obviously, but enjoy this. You deserve it. Congrats on everything, Chris.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, fellas. Y'all be safe, man.
Hey, happy you can talk too. At the beginning of this thing, you're just fucking sitting there like a mute.
Just sitting there. Yo, it's crazy. Look, I think the first purchase, I got to get me some new internet or something. Somebody got.
Hey, Verizon, I know you're listening.
I know you're listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Godwin.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris. He's awesome. He's going to get paid. Oh, yeah.
That locker room was just the best.
Are you? I mean, they're just like the coolest group of dudes of all time. Connor, I want to let you know, while Chris was giving one answer and it was full screen and I couldn't see anything up there, I turned and looked at you, and you were just like nodding your head or something like that. With those glasses, that mustache, that hair, I'll tell you, this might be the best version of you I've ever seen in my time.
And the thing is, I was on my head because in my head, all that was been playing all day is "Around the World, Around the World."
Different song here. We can't play that song. Even if they retired, they will still come and get us.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Chris Godwin. What a player.
Man,
He made some incredible catches this year.
he's gonna make it back.
By the way, you go into free agency, winning a Super Bowl, and it's just like, okay. Bruce Arians is going to be, hey, baby, we can't afford you, but come on. Come on.
Mike Evans will give
Mike
you some
Evans,
money.
come on. We got guys like T.Y. out there ready to just come down and win. They've already been paid. Julian Emmett already been paid. I know you got to get paid at some point, but can't wait a year or two now? We got Tom fucking Brady right now.
Mike and AB have been paid.
That'll be the sell, by the way, from Bruce and Jason. It's like, that money's still going to be there 1 year from now, 2 years from now, it's still going to be there. Chris Godwin's people are going to be like, yeah, it might be, but money's right fucking now. It's there too. That's going to be an interesting thing. 49 minutes in hour one. We'll take some phone calls on the other side. Big thanks to Chris Godwin. What a legend. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Tuesday, February 23rd.
McAfee at the top of the key. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Step back 3 for the win. It's good! Splash! It's not Sunday because the bank is open!
The mustache message of the day today is, if you can't run through the wall, put a helmet on and try harder.
I think I've realized this year with the conversations, you do seem to be a rather normal human, which is very interesting, right? I assume for a lot of people to hear. AJ said, no, you are not a normal human. But because all the stories about you before this year, to be honest, a lot of people, the way they believed is you were the smug king almost is what the thing about it. And then getting a chance to chat with you, it's like, well, that's not the case at all. How is that like something you have to focus on? I assume it gets hard whenever you're hanging out with, Scott Stapp is hanging Aaron Rodgers jerseys up in his goddamn office. That has to be pretty weird.
Well, look, I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. I think a lot of times, people have said things about me, and it's been the same few people, and that's been kind of the prevailing story or thing that's reflected on. I think for me, I talked a lot about the work I did on myself. It was nice, and it wasn't intentional. Like, I didn't sign the show to have, and you guys know, we've talked about this off air, but there wasn't some agenda doing this. It was fucking talk to Pat and AJ every week. Yeah, sounds pretty awesome.
It has been, by the way.
That sounds amazing. But what it's allowed me to do is, I think, silence all the douchebags out there who were, talking for me and making themselves more relevant by using my name or, running with stories that were not really based in any type of fact. And look, I've grown as a person. I've said things and done things that I wish I'd handled a little better. But this was a great, natural, authentic, whatever, whether it was 15 minutes at the stadium or 45 minutes, to just bullshit and have a conversation. If you're a friend of mine, if you know me, I think this is about as normal as interaction you're going to see from me. It's not a lot of BS. You're not going to hear cliches and garbage. I'm going to, shoot from the hip mostly. Tell you as much as I feel comfortable telling. I feel like I've been as honest as I could be. I've told you guys a lot of fun stuff. It's fun for me because then I don't have to maybe rehash it on a Wednesday, or people get to see a different side of you that maybe they didn't even know was there or didn't think was there. And it's been fun for me. I really have. I've appreciated every single week we've done these. And like I said, the best part is there was no agenda. There was no plan. I mean, even us, we didn't know we were going to go 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour. We just started fucking talking, right? And then this came out, and it's been a lot of fun.
Dance with me.
Air conditioners, coffee makers, and cigarettes all have filters, but Pat McAfee does not. You're listening to The Pat McAfee Show.
It's not often that a new beverage gets added into the rotation here. Everybody knows that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a pretty consistent human, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up, I take a shit.
What?
All right, and then most of the time, if you watch along at YouTube, you'll see me hassing a biggest green tea you got. I don't know what the size is.
Trenta.
It is a Trenta.
Trenta green tea.
Light ice.
No liquid cane sugar.
Of course not.
Couple Splendas. Keep it moving. How you doing? Everybody sees that. Every day I drink it. Get a lot of tweets from people. What's in your cup? What's in your cup? It's like, you must just started watching. You'll learn here at some point. It's been the same thing since we started. That has changed.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I still drink that because it's mass volume. All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on there. This Celsius shit's unbelievable.
So good.
It is unbelievable. It is. I have Celsius merch, by the way.
Ooh.
They sent us a shirt, softest shirt of all time.
It's like dry.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. I put it on. It says "Live Fit" right across the chest, so I had to take it right off. But it is an incredibly healthy alternative for an energy drink that you probably have been drinking that is absolutely dog shit for you. Celsius has green tea inside of it already, the same amount of coffee or caffeine as a cup of coffee, guarang, some other stuff, and it tastes unbelievable. This peach vibe one, I don't know how long they're gonna have before they get special edition. Get your hands on it. It is gonna go quick. Celsius has unbelievable and has changed the game for me in here. I'll shotgun one before we go in here sometimes.
Yeah.
Now I'll just sip it because it's so goddamn good. Get Celsius, Live Fit. Right now you can have them and buy or get them at celsius.com/buy-locate to find Celsius near you. Zero sugar, no artificial colors or flavors. Green tea, ginger, guarana seed. I don't know what that is. 7 essential vitamins, 200 milligrams of coffee. They offer carbonated and non-carbonated flavors. It has changed the game in here. It has changed the game, and I'm very thankful for them.
We gotta invest in those guarana seeds.
Yeah, well, guarana.
It also has tart cherry. Good for gout.
Tart cherry, good for God.
Neat.
It's great, though. It has been absolutely incredible.
The peach vibe is undefeated.
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 It's taken over this office. Anyways, hour one has just wrapped up. On the other side, we'll answer some phone calls, and we have Lake Norman, Josh Norman joining us. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Tuesday, February 23rd. Shout out Celsius.
Blenders, welcome to the Blender, the home of a team and a fan base on a playoff push the likes the world has never seen before. Crescent City, get on your feet for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Sprite, an incredibly refreshing drink. Starting at forward was the number 2 overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft. Now he's an NBA All-Star, Brandon Ingram. At forward, this man has been dunking on little white kids on the internet for 10 years. The incomparable, unstoppable, 6'6" phenom, Zion Williamson. At center, standing at 8 feet tall, from Georgia Tech, number 22, Derek Favors. This man's family had a reality show in Lithuania. He was born and raised in LA, but he found his J in Vienna. Lonzo Ball. And the OG of the roster. On the court, he's a monster. Braids hanging, shots banging. It's not Drew, it's Drew Holiday. Let's get this done. Thank you very much. Go Pelicans.
Tired of me right now.
That's how you play basketball. This will be a 5-bowler from the Red Panda. Up we go. Yes! 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 Red Panda! What a legendary moment.
You're a legend. It's an honor. Right, so mission accomplished, right? Come down, intro some players, throw some bowls to Red Panda, fly back to Indianapolis. Success story, Foxy. What a fucking night.
That opening kickoff in that Super Bowl you're referring to with the Colts, Hester takes to the crib. You having a little bit of a heart attack there?
Very bad decision, Pat, on my part. All week up in Indy, we're practicing, and we know he's their number one threat. They don't have a lot of offensive weaponry. They win with defense and special team. So for the whole week, we're in Indy. We're not going to let him touch the ball. We practice squibbing to the corners, bouncing the ball, high kick, pop-up kickoff, punt it out of bounds, everything to not let him touch the ball. We have a chapel service, and the chaplain talks about David and Goliath, and he says, hey, the reason David beat Goliath, he wasn't afraid. Everybody else was afraid. David ran right at him, threw it right between the eyes, and it was over. And I started thinking, we're acting like we're afraid of Devin Hester. So I told the team on Saturday night, I hope we lose the toss. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick it right down the middle. When we pound him, they'll know we mean business. David and Goliath, it's going to be over. We kicked it to him. 12 seconds later, he's in the other end. He's looking at me saying, what idiot decided to kick the ball to Devin Hester. But fortunately, the last 59 minutes, the team made up for it.
Wait until they see the tone we set on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was it.
I bet you Vinatieri was sitting there.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Tuesday, February 23rd, here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Hour 2 with phone calls from the people will begin immediately following this beat drop from Twine. There it was. Here we go. Let's get to the voice of the people. Let's get to the phone calls, shall we? Hopefully we got some cool ones today.
Yeah.
I got an apology from Jackson in Colorado, by the way.
Nice of him.
Very nice of him. Sent a tweet. Say, hey, sorry I didn't say hello to you and I was a fucking asshole last week or whatever while I'm on the beach. I was actually excited sitting on the beach for the phone calls to be answered because, you know, every time somebody comes on, they go, hey, what's up, AJ? What's up, boys? Or whatever, you know, and I get skipped basically every single time. And it's like, all right, no big deal. It's cool. It's just kind of understood. Then whenever I was on the beach, I was excited for the, what's up, Pat? What's up, boys? I was pumped on it. Jackson just completely, what's up, AJ? What's up, boys? And I'm just sitting on the beach all by myself, pissing off a bunch of people on the beach, yelling at my phone because I just got speared in the head in Carson Wentz. Didn't even get a hello from that guy. Fuck that guy, I thought, immediately.
And another thing AJ did that I just remembered that's never happened on the show before is he stepped all over the Twine beat drop on the all over.
No.
You couldn't even hear it a little.
Well, then I heard it potentially had a cuck conversation as well on the show, which I do not love. This is not a cuck show, okay? This is a sports show.
Wait, did he toss the Ohio State legend box back there, too?
Yeah, probably. The guy broke everything.
On the ground down there behind the crag.
But it's not AJ's fault, by the way. AJ put together a hell of a show. A lot of people said it was a better show than when I'm on it, which I appreciate. That's good news. I'll go on a nice vacation. But with that being said, the Jackson guy who didn't say hello, I hated him. He sent me a tweet. We've gotten over it.
It's nice to squash the beef.
Squash the beef, yeah. He said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was like, I appreciate that. Just like every day, you know, I rarely get a hello from these people.
It's wild.
But it's all right.
Just say hi.
Say hi.
Yeah.
What's
or
up?
don't.
What's up, Pat?
Or just get right. It would be nice to hear that every once in a while.
What's up, Pat?
Somebody sent me a tweet on my vacation, and I wasn't on my phone as much as I normally am. That was kind of what the vacation was, actually. You know, the wife got a chance to, not see me with my phone in my hand, which it was still. I just like with like that. It got to remain plugged. If you're an internet person, you got to know what's going on the internet because, you know, an hour is a day. A day is a week. 4 days, I might as well miss an entire fucking month on there. I couldn't do that. But I did try to, and whenever he said, sorry or whatever, and then I got a couple people that said, I hope you're having a good day. I was like, thank you. Like, that's very nice of you as well. Like, I appreciate you saying, I hope you have a good day. That's very nice of that. Because normally it's not. It's normally hey, clown, you tell us to have a good day. Yeah. Okay, and if we're part of a certain fan base that you maybe told the truth about, like, we were going to attack you for a little bit. And then a lot of people were like, hey, let's have a good time together. Let's have a good time together, which I appreciate. I like the community we have built, but the callers, a hello to me would be nice just every once in a while.
Yeah, not every time.
Not the entire time, just every once in a while.
I'm asking for a lot here.
No, just if we saw each other in real life, guess what I would say to you? Hello. You would say,
how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Let's get to Dion and Daytona. Dion, what's going on?
What's up, Pat?
Oh! Dion, thanks for the hello. Very nice. But you did say fuck you to the boys, basically,
what's going on?
Which is kind of unbelievable.
No, you cut me off. I said and the boys.
Okay, sorry. I apologize, Dion. We appreciate it. Down there in Daytona, by the way, the last 2 weeks, 2 Super Bowls down there in Daytona. 2 people I did not know existed won the 2 Daytona races. I'm assuming that's not what you want to talk about because now there's nothing really to talk about in that particular field. What do you want to talk about, Dion?
I want to talk about my goddamn Jets for a moment. I was over the Deshaun Watson stuff, but now my Jets are back into it. How do you feel about them actually having a chance of doing it?
The Jets, the Jets have been in the same position with Deshaun Watson since the beginning, which is, I think Deshaun. Thanks for the call, Dion. Thanks for the hello. By the way, that was very nice of you.
Nice.
Deshaun Watson. ESPN Upstate, which is an ESPN local affiliate in Carolina somewhere, right? And I forgot about the ties to Carolina that Deshaun has, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, I was always wondering, like, why are the Carolina Panthers even involved? All college, home, everything is basically there. They're like, hey, let's bring the Michael Jordan of football back home here. Okay, it makes a lot more sense now that I started thinking that. But the initial thing was the Jets. Remember, he was in New York for a couple of them. He was wearing a green hat. Remember, he chose to wear green in public. He obviously wanted to go to the Jets. But now with the Jets, Dolphins, and Panthers allegedly being approved by Deshaun Watson, that means Deshaun Watson's people are telling people that this is where he would want to go, trying to control the narrative even more so. The Panthers getting into that list is a good news for the Carolina Panthers organization, who has allegedly been very interested in potentially getting Deshaun Watson or another quarterback in there, because David Tepper, the new owner of the Carolina Panthers, seems to be an owner who's not scared to go all in. Dabbled in ownership with the Pittsburgh Steelers, gets the Carolina Panthers, immediately says, okay, let's go ahead and stir some shit here. Ron Rivera out like week 4, week 5. Go ahead and have a good one. It's not going to be our thing. Goes to Baylor, pays Matt Rule a bunch of money, brings in Joe Brady, gets Teddy Bridgewater, breaks off Christian McCaffrey. Carolina Panthers are getting active in this whole game. They see Teddy Bridgewater for 1 year. Seems like they're not 100% sold on Teddy Bridgewater. They've been in conversations elsewhere. But it does feel like the Carolina Panthers have been the most recent team to get into the Deshaun Watson conversation. But the Jets have been around since day one. Same situation remains. If the Texans don't want to trade him, he's not going anywhere. Deshaun wants to go somewhere. He's going to control that narrative. The Jets, Miami, and Panthers are the 3 teams he's thinking about going to. I would assume there's others on the list if it ever became potentially available. But it's good news for the Panthers. Jets, you guys are still in the same spot. You should not feel that bad at all, by the way, about maybe Bob Saleh making Sam Darnold a franchise player out of nowhere. Dan Orlovsky's big thing now on Twitter has been how good Sam Darnold is.
Yep.
And whenever he starts listing off the stats of what's 3 head coaches, 2 head coaches, 3 coordinators or something within his first 3 years. And Orlovsky even put in the parentheses like 1 horrible head coach. I mean,
Wow.
And he was talking about Adam Gase. I assume he was talking about Adam Gase.
He was.
I assume he was talking about Adam Gase. But Sam Darnold, if you're a Jets fan, are you completely out on? It sounds like, because Dion down in Daytona heard Deshaun Watson was potentially coming back again like he has been since the beginning. And he's like, well, that's much better than Sam Darnold. Orlovsky's out there like, no, Darnold still has a chance to be a guy. He's only like 22 or 23 years old, but he might have to start somewhere else. It's very interesting, a lot of these situations.
The Jets may be out on Darnold, but it seems like a lot of other fan bases still have hope in Darnold and would definitely take Darnold.
Seems like Miami's potentially one of them, no?
Steelers. Sam Darnold to Pittsburgh.
Bring him home.
Yeah, but what about Dewey?
Bring him home.
What about Dewey Haskins? Bring him home?
Whoa.
Home?
Darnold from Pittsburgh?
Well, Pittsburgh, this country was built on steel. It's everyone's home. Okay.
True.
Smart.
That's why there's a Steelers bar in every single
Bring him
city in
home.
America.
But there's nothing wrong with a healthy quarterback competition to see who's the future quarterback, Dewey or Sam Darnold.
So now, like, I would assume the Dan Orlovskys of the world would be very frustrated with what you just said, saying Sam Darnold and Dewey Haskins are in competition.
You're right.
This is what Orlovsky said. So many folks are surprised that a young QB, Darnold, in his first 3 years with 2 head coaches, 1 very bad. Okay, so he didn't say horrible. He said 1 very bad. 3 offense coordinators, 2 GMs. He had mono as an adult. We got to remember that. He had shoulder injury, bottom 5 offensive line, bottom 5 run game, bottom 5 skill players, bottom 10 defense. Are you surprised that he struggled? Every quarterback would struggle in that. It's nonsense he can't play. Okay? So Dan Orlovsky has now cemented himself into the Sam Darnold camp. What will happen with Sam Darnold? And when you do look at that, you realize, like, oh, that would be a tough place to fare as a quarterback, I do believe. I don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers are necessarily in the market, but there's Denver's looking for a quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sam Darnold, Drew Lock potentially battle. New England's looking for a quarterback. Now, I'm not 100%. He's seen ghosts, I think, right, playing against New England or whatever, wasn't he? And that we found out from Herbert was that's actually pass rushers. That's not in the secondary. I thought it was secondary. You see one coverage, then all of a sudden it's actually a different coverage. Instead, it's like when you get antsy in the pocket when you think you're getting beat up. That's because he's had a bottom 5 offensive line his entire time. I think Sam Darnold could be an intriguing piece of a lot of teams going forward.
And we always talk about getting out of that Gase umbrella and guys, skyrocket, become a whole new player. It could easily happen with Darnold. What's he, 23, and he's already got, 3 years of experience under his belt? Why not?
Tannehill looked like he had no hope. That guy should have stayed at wide receiver,
Yes.
people were saying about Tannehill. Then he leaves. Marcus Mariota gets benched. Nobody really talks about it.
Nope.
Like that was a... What, is he a
I think it
Heisman winner?
skipped over,
He was
yeah.
just because of the success that Tannehill had, by the way. Titans fans maybe earlier were like, Marcus is our guy. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, let's fucking get rid of Marcus.
Tannehill's pretty good.
Let's move on. And then Marcus Mariota now obviously comes in. We thought devastating groin injury. Derek Carr has a great game. He's potentially getting traded right now. But the Adam Gase gone in 3 offensive coordinators in however many years he's been in the league, 3 years or whatever. It would be tough to see that anybody succeed there. But if you're a guy at quarterback, do you have numerous head coaches? Do you have 3 offensive coordinators? Do you have all that shit? It's the chicken or the egg type thing here. You know what I mean? Like if you have a guy like Andrew Luck, for instance. When Andrew Luck came in, it didn't really matter, okay, who was going to be wherever. He was going to have success because he was a guy. Now, Sam Darnold, has he had the prime opportunity to succeed in the NFL? Absolutely not. I think Jets fans are the first to tell you, like, yeah, this organization fucking stinks. People are talking about Trevor Lawrence staying in school if the Jets didn't fuck up the tank job or whatever. That's how bad the Jets are. But if you get a generational guy, does it matter? Does anything matter like that? That's the bigger conversation about Sam Darnold.
Joe Burrow with the Bengals. He had nothing. How good was he before he got hurt?
Nothing.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. That's going to get wasted in Cincinnati because they stink. Bengals fans, Who Dey Nation, are an awesome group of people.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing people.
That organization stinks. that
No
absolutely
arguments
stinks. Now, listen, as a Steelers fan, you feel that way. I'm talking about for the players that are there, though, too. Like, you're giving them no chance, basically. The coaches over there, you're giving them no chance, little to no resource. It's a job. Okay, you get to work in the NFL, way to go.
Yeah.
But guys that go and coach other places and then come there and they're like, we ain't even got a fucking shower in this place. I mean, that is, you know what I mean? There just should be a little bit higher of an expectation amongst the shield for how Cincinnati operates over there. But Joe Burrow does seem to be a guy. At what point will he potentially say, I need out of here? And how will Sam Darnold potentially exit? Where will he go? What's that, Dick?
Zito sent a graphic into the group yesterday, and it was because the Bears had the most Hall of Famers on their team at 30.
never
But the
stopped going.
Bengals have been around since the 60s. They only have 1 Hall of Famer. Like 30 for the Bears, 1 for the Bengals.
And how long they been around?
I think the 60s.
So they have the same facilities, too.
Yeah. Hasn't changed.
That Hall of Famer showered in that
Same shower.
Still got the same weights.
He walked these hallways. You know, that's what they say to the young players. Joe Burrow, our Hall of Famer, he took a shit in that toilet
right there
that you will be taking a shit in with that single-ply toilet paper right next to you. He practiced in the mud. We got you turf. Just think about that. You want to be a Hall of Famer around here, that's what you got to do.
What do you think about McCaffrey's name being tossed around in the trade rumors for Watson? And
We talked about that yesterday. It's like he is would you give up a top, I said 10 player in the NFL. I forget who we were talking about. They said top 5. We were talking to somebody about it. They said AJ said top 5 player. Maybe. I mean, you watch that Amazon thing. He had like a 4% chance of scoring on one play, and he went through the air to do it. I mean, he's next. Why would you do that if you are trying to go all in? You would want to keep a top 10 player on your team if you're trying to add another one to that whole thing. And it's just, that seemed like an interesting thing. Maybe it was just people on the internet cooking up ways for them to potentially entice the Texans to make a move. But if you're trying to make a move for Deshaun Watson, you don't think Teddy Bridgewater's good enough. Why would you unload your fucking best player if you're trying to become that team? That didn't make much sense to me, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of dumb things that happen.
Their backup, Mike Davis, had some pretty good success when McCaffrey wasn't there, and you can hold on to Bobby Anderson and DJ Moore on the outside. It might make sense to move McCaffrey, especially if you only have to give up 1 first-round pick.
Bingo. But also could also give up that guy.
Yeah.
Who had a great year. It's
Mikey Davis.
Yeah, he might have the hottest trade value right now. You know, now is Christian McCaffrey going to come back and be the same? He's a little bit of a model now too, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey's out there modeling, and we did a full breakdown of McCaffrey's family like a year and a half ago. We did a full breakdown. His grandpa on his mom's side is like, his mom is an Olympian. His grandpa or grandma on his mom's side is Olympian. His dad, obviously, NFL legend. His old brother. I mean, there's like, he was created to be a professional athlete, basically. And he is unbelievable. But that is so much for the, what have you done for me lately league? You know, he was hurt last year, so everybody's like, fucking trade him. Get him. He ain't worth that money. It's like, whoa. Can we relax for 1 second? That guy was a player. He's actually the reason Cam Newton didn't have a job for 86 days. Because when Cam Newton was hurt, Christian McCaffrey became 90% of that offense. And he was just going off. And it became his team all of a sudden. Will it be Deshaun Watson's team?
It's a quarterback-driven league.
Let's go to Tommy down there in Charlotte. What's going on, Tommy? The Charlotte spelling.
Pat, what's going on, man? How are you today?
Thank you, Tommy. That was very nice of you. Did say fuck you to the boys there, though, and that is kind of rude. But, Tommy, what do you want to talk about in CHAROLLETTE, Charlotte, North Carolina, I'd assume? What do you want to talk about, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm over here in Uptown.
Oh, hey, I said that yesterday, right? The Jewel City or whatever, Queen City. And you guys don't say, what's that?
Because our Uptown is downtown.
Yeah, your downtown is actually titled Uptown because you want to be a little bit fancier than everybody else.
Correct. And buddy down in Daytona, I got to say, I think Deshaun's probably coming here. Half the city would love it. All the Clemson fans here, South Carolina fans, probably would hate it. But my call is more about the Patriots. I see they have a ton of cap space, and I'm a Bills fan. So it's a little bit concerning, not just for us, but for the entire AFC. If they can sign someone like J.J. Watt, for instance, we see in the Super Bowl, if you get to Mahomes, he goes into a panic and can't really win the game. So, I mean,
he did not go into a panic. The guy was actually making plays. He threw 3 touchdowns that were dropped. Patrick Mahomes did. Now, not a bad question there from old Tommy down there in Charlotte, but the thought of New England, no, they have to get a quarterback.
Exactly.
They have to build an entire roster.
No,
now,
you get JJ. That's super.
Yeah.
JJ plays tight end.
Yeah.
JJ does play tight end.
Can he throw it?
I assume he can. You remember? He plays catch.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him throw the ball to the top fucking level of a stadium in real life. So it's not like video edited. I seen the entire thing. When he started doing that play catch with everybody thing, I assume everybody thought, there's no way you're going to be able to fucking do this. And I think that's why he continued to do it. Because it was like spite of all his teammates saying, there's no way you're going to be – that takes up too much time. He would be there. It would be 35, 40 minutes of him doing a full – and it's in the pre-warm-up when kickers and punters out there. So I feel like I might have been one of the first people to really see it. And I thought, this guy, there's no fucking way. He did every single person that was in the stadium at the time he played catch with. And I go around, I'm like, does this guy even care about football? He's fucking –
Seriously.
Then he had a touchdown, I think 2 touchdowns, like 4 sacks or something like that. And he did that every single game. It got to a point, though, where some of those hucks were very fucking impressive. We're talking about people in the security guards up at JJ up in the top catching that thing. He probably could play quarterback and tight end for the Patriots if he wanted to. But remember, it takes him an hour to go through DoorDash up there in Wisconsin. Who knows how many options? He's got to kind of sift through some things. Is Bill Belichick on the horn to that log cabin in Wisconsin for J.J. Watt? Who knows? But it has been said that the Patriots are going to be very active in free agency this
Hell, if he can play quarterback, let's give him number 9. We'll run the power option right and left every play, and then we'll mix in a couple passes because, we don't have any receivers or tight ends at the moment.
Well, he would be the tight end. He'd be throwing it. It'd be like that video where he throws it straight up in the air.
Jamal Charles.
Yeah. Remember those videos back in the day where the guy, who was it, Tony Gonzalez, punched his hands through
fantasy football commercials. This is why you should draft me.
Yeah. I think Nugent or Crosby had some kicks in there.
Yeah. Andre Johnson catching 2 balls and then catching another.
That was beautiful editing.
Steven Jackson.
Yeah, someone jumps through a moving car window to window.
Yeah. And by the way, that was back whenever I don't think the editing was as anywhere near, or the effects were what they were now. Those edits were unbelievable.
I know they're all real.
Of course, that's what I'm talking about.
No way.
That's what I'm talking about.
I remember having an argument with my friends, and I'm like, this stuff's impossible, guys.
No, CGI wasn't around yet. I think that was real.
Well, Mason Crosby did turn the clock to midnight, I think, with a kick.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, hitting the bells.
Yeah, was that? No, and then he actually turned the...
Oh, yeah.
I think he actually turned...
Yeah,
that one was probably real, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
The other ones were just ridiculous, though. No, there were some that were absolutely ridiculous. Was that Gunner?
Well, I believe in Zito. I believe that all that stuff happened.
You tell me Tony Gonzalez couldn't punch a hole in a wall and catch a ball?
Yeah, he probably could. You're right. You're 100% right.
Thank you.
Do you think they just had like 7,000 pieces of drywall for all the takes that it
I'm
would
telling
take?
you, I went to Home Depot to look at drywall. It's actually not that expensive.
Hey, but just quick update, by the way. This is going to change. By the way, drywall is very cheap. Yeah, that is why it's drywall.
Imagine wet drywall.
Yeah, that'd be wet wall.
The wet wall?
That'd be cement. Nick tried to talk about my Ace Hardware going out of business.
Yeah.
It's not. They're prepping for spring right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't try
You
to
did.
talk.
He said my Ace Hardware was going out of business.
80% off sale.
How dare you talk shit about Ace Hardware?
He was grinning like the butcher's dog.
And now you're talking down.
Pat was so beat up with that.
Friendly salt.
He was so sad.
I was.
Yeah.
I was genuinely upset about that.
Nick was grinning like the butcher's dog when he told you.
You should have
to.
heard my wife, though. My wife was not happy either. She goes to that Ace all the time. I mean, there was some. Oh, shit. Is that me?
Yeah, you're going to lower that down a little bit.
We got to get a new one of these things, I think.
That's what you get for telling lies.
I didn't. You did.
You knew.
You told me Ace Hardware was going out of biz. They got everything.
When I get an email that says 80% off, everything must go, I'm a little concerned.
Well, they're worried about you. It's quarantine. Everybody's been through.
Care of you.
There's no stimulus checks coming. Hey, we got 80% off. All right, whatever you can afford.
I didn't get that email.
Well, do you go to Ace up there?
Oh,
You VIP?
Oh, yeah.
You said Home Depot. You ain't.
Well, that's why I get drywall.
You always go to Home
You're
Depot.
fucking big box store, dude.
Hey, by the way, we will go to Home Depot if we have to, but
Oh, yeah.
just saying, I won't not go to Home Depot.
Good
Hey,
pain
don't
at
forget
Home
about-
Depot.
Don't forget about Lowe's Menards, too. I mean,
Well, Menards.
don't.
Save big money at Menards.
Some questionable paint mixing going on in that place.
Menards.
Come on.
Whoa.
What are they doing?
Don't bring your Canadian painting hoity-toity bullshit down here to Menards.
You can ask Nick about it.
I never question anything Menards.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, you did. Is that why you went so hard at Ace, saying they're going out of business? Everything must go over there?
11% rebate.
Jesus Christ.
Why doesn't Home Depot have a jingle?
Because they don't need it.
Because they had smoked Stewart for a while, and that's all you needed.
We talked about him. I don't know if you heard about that.
I was there. I was here.
Oh, okay.
Di was here, too.
Di was here too much for that one. Let's go to Cameron. By the way, hope everything's all right, Di.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you, Ty.
Take care of your stuff, Ty.
What is he got a?
Colonoscopy.
All right, so you said it, not me. So people do know that this
Yeah,
is.
he's been tweeting about it.
Okay, he got a colonoscopy, which, by the way, is a smart thing to do. You should go get your colons checked.
Similar to a colonoscopy.
Yeah, it's very similar to that thing. I have not got one, but I should, I think, after reading about it a little bit. They go in to butthole, right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of camera? 8K.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Especially now because it gets a little, shitty.
Uncut gems.
It's got a Cameron in Montana. What's going on, Cameron? What's going on, dude?
Hey, Pat, how you doing? Hey, boys, how you doing?
That Cameron. Great work. That's great work, Cameron.
That's a Montana.
I like what we're doing here in
About
Montana.
time somebody got it right.
Yeah, bingo, Cameron. What do you want to talk about, pal?
Let's talk about, I saw on The Herd this morning, 28 teams apparently have called about Russell Wilson.
I don't know if it's 28. I heard more than half, though, or something like that.
Third.
Yeah, third. Okay, so that's a 10.3, no, 10 point, probably 5. 10.65, right?
Yeah, I think it checks out to me. 10 is 30.
0.65 would be 9.5, so we'd have to add a little bit more there. So 10.66 teams.
Yeah.
Divide by 5.
I think I just got
10
it
and
right.
2/3.
10 and 2/3 team, which is actually 1/3 of the NFL, has reached out to see if Russell Wilson is available for trades. Allegedly, says Du V. Kleiman, a report says, per Mike Silver, that the asking price starts at 3 first-round draft picks. Now, that means that the Seattle Seahawks are thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay? So the Houston Texans have not answered phone calls. The Houston Texans said, no, we ain't trading a player. Now a report via Mike Silver, via Du V. Kleiman, says that the asking price starts at 3 first-round draft picks. So who's giving that information? Is that Seattle Seahawks? Well, if somebody wants to fucking call, it's going to be 3 first-rounders. What if it's 1 player and 2 first-rounders? What if it's Carson Wentz and 2 future first-rounders?
Whoa.
What are we thinking? Is Russell Wilson coming to Indianapolis?
Oh.
No. I I'm happy with Carson Wentz being the Indianapolis Colt, okay? I am happy with that situation. I'm just saying, hypothetically wise, if it's a player and 2 other firsts, because if that player is a first-round draft pick, does that count as 3 firsts? So is it a player and 2 firsts potentially Seattle's looking for? And if Russell Wilson ends up on the move because the chef on Team 3 is not happy with the way the Seattle Seahawks are operating, this is going to be electrifying to talk about because Russell Wilson is a dude. Wherever he goes, that team automatically becomes a team that is potentially going to win this whole thing. And will he have to change the end of interviews where he says, go Hawks? He most certainly will. Go Bears. That'll be something we talk about. Now, the Bears, can Nagy mess that one up? Could Nagy mess up Russell Wilson?
Oh, yeah.
He could, a lot of people would say, but could. Russell Wilson's a fucking player now. That guy, no matter what you think of his hosting abilities,
pretty good.
Exactly. Exactly what I was thinking. That's why I even said it. No matter what you think of him as a person,
pretty good.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Very good, yeah.
As a football player, he is a guy. He's a guy.
Elite, yeah.
It's intriguing 3 firsts. Does that count as a player and 2 firsts, or they want 3 picks alongside that entire thing?
What if the Cowboys did a sign and trade with Dak? And
So they want to go. So Jerry Jones decides he wants to pay Russell Wilson and not Dak, even though he's paid everybody else on that goddamn team. That would be the classic sports talk show, though, is there's a chance Jerry Jones from his yacht down there in Miami makes a sign and trade, Dak Prescott franchise tag, traded to the Seattle Seahawks alongside 2 other picks for Russell Wilson, who's now your quarterback for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. That would be a wild day. The internet would blow up if that was the case. Sports talk shows would be climaxing all over the screen for 3 to 4 days about that. That doesn't seem likely, but 3 firsts. Nowadays, with the way the world is, with the way the NFL is, that doesn't seem like that's out of touch for a lot of teams that need a quarterback, especially Russell Wilson-like quarterback.
We got first-round draft picks who are quitting after 1 year.
Yeah, Tennessee Titans guy.
I mean, let's not worry about drafting first-round picks anymore. Let's trade those things away.
What's his name? Isaiah Wilson?
Yeah.
Isaiah Wilson tweets out that I'm done with my football career as a Titan. No further comments. Great tweet. One of my favorite tweets I've ever heard in my entire life. GG with a blue check mark. He's a rookie offensive lineman. His which is very interesting, is Lazy. Like lazy, I think Isaiah Lazy with an underscore. I'm done with football as a Titan. No further comments. Okay, he deletes that tweet. I'd assume somebody reached out to him. I don't know. I guess his rookie year did not go as planned, but that's an electrifying tweet. It gets better and better every time I read it because, you know what I mean? Just like the full-on, no further comments. Like, here's the tweet, don't fucking follow up. I'm actually turning off all responses from anybody. I got no further comments, don't even ask any questions. He inevitably has to delete it. But this goes to what you were pointing out. You have no idea if a guy from college is going to be able to make it in the NFL. It is a roll of the dice. There's going to be 2 different styles of building a team going forward. It's already kind of happening. Teams that draft and build and teams that just go and get free agents. If I was a general manager or I was which I would never be because I would never get that job. But if I was ever a general manager or want that job, I don't want to be in a film cave all day, every day. I would be get me somebody who's already proven that they're going to work against adults. Give me people that have transitioned to the men's league already. We know what to expect from them. They might be a little bit more high maintenance because they already have routines and shit. But the reason why they are where they are is because they've been successful. Let's do that. Because when you're drafting people, I mean, Bill Belichick has missed on numerous draft picks. And that's like, our best guy, right? Him and Ernie are our best football minds, allegedly. You have no idea if somebody's going to be able to make the jump. And we're not saying that Lazy is a failed NFL guy. He might go on to make it. But you have no fucking idea what you're getting. 3 first-round draft picks is 3 potential superstars. But potential will get your ass fired. Yep. That is literally how it is. If I'm a GM and I can get fucking Team 3 to come down and make plays. Now, granted, he's coming with a big salary cap hit. He's already signed and all that thing. But if you have money, and I would pull the trigger on that in a heartbeat, just like I would have for Matthew Stafford, by the way. The guy's a player. We already know he's going to make it in the men's league. How much is Russ owed?
He's owed 32 in 2021, 37 the year after that, and 40 the year after that.
So a lot of money. You're getting a lot of money, but it's Russell Wilson at that particular point.
Yeah, like you just mentioned how hard it is to hit on guys. How hard is it to get a quarterback of that caliber? Like, why aren't the Seahawks just saying, you know what, all right, fine, bend the knee to Russ, get him a lineman or something, and let's see what we can do?
I'll get him a lineman, let him be a part of more conversations. Yeah. Remember in that interview with Dan Patrick, he was like, at the end of the day, it's your legacy, it's your team's legacy, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that it's already getting out that 3 firsts is going to be the beginning of it. It's like, okay, so the Seahawks are thinking about it. If the Seahawks are thinking about it, in Team 3, the chef, the body guru, the landscaper, the villa keeper, the entire team, marketing, hosting coach, all of the Team 3 is, all right, we're getting them out of here. Seattle's thinking we're getting out of here. Russell hasn't come out and said it or not, but you have to think that there's a chance Russell Wilson's on a goddamn move. What if he's a Miami Dolphin? Ooh.
Well, the Seahawks also keep saying they want to establish the run. Their running backs can't stay healthy. Marshawn came out of retirement to play in the playoffs.
He was serving tequila in the Oakland Raiders parking lot 10 days before he played in a playoff game for the Seattle Seahawks and scored a touchdown. You're 100% right. Now, that revolves around the offensive line and blah, blah, blah. There's a whole thing. But if Russell Wilson gets added to this incredibly crowded quarterback frenzy that we have, once again, we're going to have somebody that isn't going to have a job. Right now, the question on one of the, I think it was First Take this morning, would you rather have Jameis or Cam Newton at this point? And it's like, both of them, it might not fucking matter with all the quarterbacks that are potentially moving. And now, Devontae Smith, Heisman winner from Alabama, he was asked, by the way, bullshit. What happened here?
Very tough.
This is much like the Ben Roethlisberger baloney beaten situation that we hate that we had to cover because there's no reason that should have got out.
Had to, though.
Both are sticky situations.
Oh, come on.
Well, one of them much more sticky than the other. The situation with Devontae, you think that's, I'd assume actually, Big Ben they say, but the Devontae situation is one of these ones where he was asked by, you just got it. Yeah.
Nice.
He was asked by an NFL team if he would rather have Tua or Mac Jones. And I don't know how this information's getting out. Albert Breer must have heard it from somebody. This is an incredibly difficult spot for Devontae to get put into, to talk about two guys I'd assume are his friends in this whole thing. But whenever he was asked, Albert Breer was reporting that Devontae Smith didn't hesitate, and he said Mac Jones immediately upon saying that. So I would assume Tua is reading this report and going, well, what the fuck, Devontae? And then Devontae saying, like, hey, I was talking to an NFL team that might be drafting me. What am I supposed to do? The fact that information got out, I think, is absolute bullshit. Albert Breer's doing his job. Whoever told Albert Breer this, I'm not a big fan of it. But is Mac Jones potentially now a guy that people are talking about? This is Mitt's guy, by the way. Mitt's been talking about this. But with the Heisman winner coming out and saying, this guy by far over this, now you got people allegedly, which we called this was going to happen, is Zach Wilson. Yep. Is Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, is Zach Wilson better than Trevor Lawrence? Some teams have Zach Wilson of BYU ahead of Trevor Lawrence, who's been the number one pick since he was in high school. So, like, you add in these rookies that are potentially getting drafted and all these vets that are potentially moving, it's inevitable that somebody's going to end up without a seat. And it's going to be the full conversation of, is there 32 guys better than that guy? The answer is no, but the situations we know are situational.
Well, of course he's going to say Mac Jones. Like, you're trying to raise your buddy's, draft stock. Tua's already on a team. Mac's been, at 15 and some people have him at 5. Why wouldn't you say Mac Jones just to help him out a little bit?
I don't think Devontae's just going to say a guy's name just to help him out in that particular situation.
I mean, yeah, winning the Heisman with him probably also kind of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
helps a little.
That NFL team putting him in that position, wild.
Yeah.
And then an NFL team being like, you should fucking heard with Devontae right to Albert Breer. It's like, whoa.
Maybe
like,
it's the Dolphins.
Whoa.
What?
You think the Dolphins talked to Devontae and they're like, all right, tell us. You played with Tua. We saw what he did this year. Okay. Play with Mac. What do you think? He was like, Mac, by far, what a stud. And they're like, shout out you, dude.
Okay.
Albert,
shout out.
Even his old teammates say he stinks. What if that is what happened, by the way? That would be how the game works, too. It's kind of fucked up. We shouldn't even cover it. Dump everything we just done.
Dump it.
It's unbelievable Devontae was put in that position, though. Like, I do not like that much that it was leaked out in that entire thing. It's just like, because in that interview, Devontae's just giving answers, right, trying to be the best representation of himself. This is a job interview I'm going to make to the NFL. To put him in that position to pick between two guys that are friends and then leak that information is just...
Well, and then if he says no comment to that team, then he's an asshole, right?
Yeah, there's no win. And what if he goes with Tua and they're like, well, you want a Heisman with Max, so you don't like your teammates? It's just like, well, did you go to his birthday party?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Let's go to... kids even have birthday parties anymore? No way, right? Especially now with COVID.
No. 2-year-olds do, I think.
2-year-olds, 3-year-olds? Were you at one? That's why I saw you were hanging out with a.
No, it wasn't a birthday party.
What was that, a human? It was a human at that age. Have you ever hung around a human at that age?
No.
Me neither. I saw a couple of little humans running around at the
I like
resort.
that age, though, I learned. They can crawl and they can't talk, so not a lot that they can do to annoy you.
Yeah, play your eyes.
But they could die. They could escape. That's like the thing.
That's
Whenever
what
they
I'm
start
saying,
moving.
before they can walk.
Oh, they got soft bones.
Oh, yeah, that's why you can get dropped on your head and everything.
You're fine.
They sleep a lot.
It's got 100. I hope to God.
Once they start forming opinions and stuff, I think then's when I start to hate them.
Yeah. And by the way, this next generation is definitely smarter than all of us.
Oh, yeah.
So
In some aspects.
Go on.
Not street smart.
Well,
Do those even exist anymore? Because you're not even allowed to go into said street anymore.
I love the streets.
Yeah,
Well,
but we're
unless
not
you're in
talking about you.
Oklahoma.
What's that? Whoa, Oklahoma, dude. It's
true.
Hey, our potential coverage of that has done pretty well on the internet. It has resonated with some people. A lot of people going to bat for Spencer Jones for getting his fucking ass beat in that bar, and I can understand that those people, might be Oklahoma fans or something like that. I mean,
how are they defending it?
The universe figured that whole problem out right there. Okay, now he had to have surgery. We're happy he's okay, but there was obviously something going on. I guess before that, there was also a blindsided punch that kind of led to the conversation.
Oh, the bloody nose.
And then there was a slap. Yeah, there was a lot of shit that happened. But now you got lawsuits popping off, obviously, because it's 2021 that's going to happen.
I heard they're doing a pay-per-view the next fight.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. It's good. By the way, those dudes, I guess they actually do run like an MMA academy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, they run it for like 10 years.
Cobra Kai?
Yeah, basically. These two dudes ran like an MMA academy. I looked into it because they put together a GoFundMe for their lawyer fees and everything like that. And it was just like, I started reading into it. It's him with like a bunch of kids, like they're setting a picture up, like, hey,
good guy.
Yeah, like I just want to let you know, like, hey, I'm on your side regardless here, pal, even though Spencer Jones is a wide receiver for Oklahoma. He's a wide receiver for Oklahoma. The universe figured that thing out, but now I guess there's going to be lawsuits and everything.
I mean, when you look at the video again, too, the shit kickers he had on, you can't be barking up that type of tree.
Now, you did say something about potential pay-per-view and everything like that. If they do fight again, I know the place they need to fight at.
Ooh.
Don't they?
Street Beefs.
Street Beefs. Oh, yes.
I was introduced to Street
Squash
Beefs just
beef.
the other night, okay? And I learned about a guy that, when I talked about the Spencer Jones situation just the other day, I might have been wrong because I said back in the day whenever I would go out, if I was with my friend that knew karate, we're in a good spot. If this guy can chop wood, we'll be able to beat the fuck out of whoever in the bar wants to pop off. Nowadays, it's much different. Jiu-jitsu got introduced to the world via the Gracies, and then all of a sudden arm bars started happening, Muay Thai got involved, kickboxing got involved, and those people just started, kind of oozing into society, and every once in a while you just bump into one of them, and it's like, what? Oh my God, I just fucked with a trained killer, okay? I did not know that we do have a karate guru who's out here, that if you are friends with him, he will fuck up anybody. I found that guy on Street Beefs, and it might be my new favorite video on the internet. Foxy, please play it.
Name's Gito. If you don't know me, you're about to.
He said his name's Zito.
What?
Shinigami, fighting out of Lancaster, California, representing Force 360 Martial Arts and the Lab BJJ. Shout out to my girl Rachel.
Shut up.
Do this.
Shout out to my girl Rachel, dude, in the karate academy that raised me, dude. Street Beefs. Around a bunch of hay barrels. I didn't even know this exists. A ref fight. Karate man. Kick to the leg. Oh, don't be kicking. Pow! Right in the mouth! Right in the mouth! If you don't know me, you're about to. We do know you. You're the guy that ate a shin from Karate Man from the karate store down the street. Shout out Rachel for being on alongside that entire thing. That's the karate guy you want if you're going out. No other karate guys are good enough, though, nowadays, with the way jiu-jitsu and everything is. Unless you're fucking with, what was his name, Shinami? Run that back.
That's what he said.
Shinomsky? There's no way that's his actual name.
Shinami.
It's gonna be.
If you don't know me, you're about to.
We do.
Shinigami, fighting out of Lancaster.
Shinigami. You rolling out with Shinigami, you're in a good spot. That son of a bitch is the Beverly Hills Ninja, kicking people right in the fucking mouth. Street Beefs needs to have Spencer Jones versus MMA Academy guy, Volume 2, if it ever pops off again. But that is a Twitter account I will be tuned into for probably the next month or so as they unleash these videos onto the world.
Well, I mean, if your birth name is Shinigami, you're destined to be delivering shins to people's chins.
Yeah,
for the
you're
rest of
right.
your life.
Yeah, you're right. Shinigami.
Oh, I just found his Twitter.
You can't be getting into hay rings with a guy with a getup like that. I mean, he looked like he was just going to eviscerate whoever was standing across.
Kind of looks
from
like the
him.
camp counselor from Heavyweights.
My
Oh, so
My name is Zito, and if you don't know me, you're about to. That guy, he signed up for a fight. Saw Karate Man standing across from him there. John Travolta looking motherfucker standing across from him. Bowl cut with a headband underneath there in a full gi. Okay, shout out to Rachel. We don't know if that girl behind. He saw it. I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy. He kicks him in the leg. He's like, what? You actually hear somebody in the back like, easy with the kicks, okay? Like, we're here for the big moments. Before, she didn't even know that lightning was in that left leg. Before those words of, we don't like the kicks even got out of her mouth, Zito's mouth was eating Shinigami's shin.
I just bought a sweater, by the way. He has a merch.
We need to buy a lot of his merch. Can we
Yeah.
get a gi? Can we get one of them gis?
dude. Can we get a shout out Rachel hoodie?
The gi is actually out here.
Yeah, get the gi. I would like the gi.
There was also one, remember your training in the background.
Remember your training. Was that for Zito or for Shinigami? Because Shinigami is he's not forgetting his training.
No.
Zito had a bucket of Vaseline on his eyebrows.
It did not matter. Should have put some on the mouth. That's where it was coming. By the way, I think he threw a lame kick there early to make Zito think that he can't get his leg up there because it does appear that his gut would get in the way.
Yeah.
Turns out physics were defied as he lifted his leg right up the suckhole for that guy. That's my new favorite guy on the internet. So everything I said yesterday about back in the day, if you had a friend who knew karate, you'd be okay, and how that has changed completely. This man is taking us back in time. If you have this karate man as a friend, feel free to act ridiculous in clubs or bars because that shit will happen anytime. 41 minutes, 42 minutes into this hour, we got to take a break. We'll take some more phone calls on the other side. Shout out to Rachel. Let's do this.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Rachel's gonna be a supermodel, right? To be with him.
I would assume.
Or Chili's waitress.
You think certified killers? You think certified killers roll around with anything less than?
No.
Well, how about
Might be Rachel McAdams.
Might be, dude.
It might also be stage name. We don't know.
True.
Rachel might not even be a real person. He might have lied right there to make himself look cooler. That might have been before we even got a chance to know him. Rachel might be gone, by the way. Next fight, he might be moved up in this whole world. True. You know? Rachel was his girl left roundhouse boot to the mouth.
Hey, look, sorry, baby. The UFC's calling.
Hey, baby.
Give me shout out Rachel's next fight.
Oh! Shout out Carmel and Barbie. Let's do this, dude. I fucking love that guy.
Peace truck was
all right, perfect. We got to get to a break.
These two now.
We're back on the other side with a phone call. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see more of the undefeated Shinigami. Well, hello, sensual piano keys. You sound incredibly inspirational and motivational. Big announcement coming from our company. You know, throughout my entire life, I've made decisions that people have said, ooh, that is stupid. You've read about them, you heard about them. When I was in high school, I went to an underground poker game, won $1,400, flew myself down to Miami, won a kicking contest, and got a scholarship to West Virginia the next day. I turned my back on soccer that day. Everybody said, you're an idiot. Why are you doing that? You have more schools looking at you for soccer than you do for football. What are you thinking? Fast forward 8 years with the Indianapolis Colts, and I was on top of the world, top of the mountain. How's the view? Not too shabby. And when I was at the top of my game, I decided, you know what? I'm going to pursue some other stuff. My friends and I are going to go to work on the internet. We're going to try to chase fulfillment as opposed to just a paycheck. And there were some interesting responses from people of power in the sporting world.
Make them tear the uniform off of you. Sure. Look, somebody needs to stage an intervention. People who know this guy, get to him now. Make him put his helmet back on and get to camp.
Oh no, there's no intervention, Wilbon. No. Here we are 3 years after that date, and it's a celebration, bitches! Cut the music! Let's hand out some bags to the boys. For the boys. For the boys. By the way, that's for you, brother. Oh my God.
Are you home? All right, come out the front door.
What's up, dude?
What is this? What's this?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
What the fuck? Fuck you. Oh, my God. That is the bag of money. FanDuel deal went through. There's $50,000 in there for you. Here's a backpack with $50,000 in it. Well, $50,000 in it. Oh, my God. Yes, there's $50,000 in there. Yes, there's $50,000.
Are you fucking serious?
Let's go.
Rub it back.
Oh, man. Let's go, dude.
Let's go. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yo, this is...
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, dude. We did it. Couldn't have done it without you. Oh, thank you.
Dude, it's a fuck ton of money. You guys.
When I asked Dan Patrick for some advice, he told me always take care of the boys.
Well, and you should know those people that are there with you, that their value cannot be overstated and should not be overstated.
So Mike Wilbon, they didn't hold my jersey on me. They didn't hold my helmet on me. We didn't have an intervention. What we have is a celebration. Because when you bet on yourself, sometimes you hit for big. And for us, the only place we'll bet for the next couple years in an exclusive deal, FanDuel backed the Brinks truck up to our office, and we have never been more thankful, more excited, and more together as we promote the greatest sports book on planet Earth.
Give us a call at 888-MAD-DOG-6. Pat wants to hear from you. No, not really. He just ran out of things to talk about. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
That's pretty true. Oh, wow. Come on. Today's show is brought to you by Celsius. Hell yeah. The best energy drink on the market. Doesn't taste like an energy drink. It tastes like fantastic living.
Heaven.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. If I say I got to go, there's this place down by the road. Oh, they are saying they are, you know, I got a way down. All they heard do bop a dee doo bop the way down. Mama told me one day that you were lonely. Woo! Don't leave me lonely. Woo! Mama told me. Is it okay? Listen, I heard what you tried to do there a little bit. Wow. We don't know the words before the chorus, but once we get to the chorus, please do not shit on it like that. Okay?
I accidentally shit on it.
Well, we all missed the beat, to be honest with you. Bro. That song is a super vibe song.
Feels good. Very good.
Listen to it on vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
Out on the beach.
Had it actually playing. Yeah, made the rotation, that entire thing. And you should hear my wife. Bop bop booda bop 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 away now. We are young bop bid bop booda bop bop away now. I know my mama told me one day I'd like you were lonely. Don't leave me lonely. Even Alex, the guy who brought me over a Mongo, McMichael, White Claw, of course. He was singing White Claw. I had McMichael White Claw.
Tastes a little treat.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Is Orlovsky singing it?
He was on the other. He was with the
kids.
He was in the kids zone. Fucking get them out.
Poopy water.
Well, it turns out their water was actually flowing towards us.
Oh, no.
All those diaper-filling sons of bitches were just
downstream.
Yeah, shit rolls downhill. Dude.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I don't know if Orlovsky's kids were pooping anywhere. His kids were actually maybe the most awesome kids on the beach. They were awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
his kids.
Slinging the rock around?
Yeah, were they
They
working
just do
out?
whatever they want. They do whatever they want. Incredibly handsome little kids, obviously. By the way, they're gonna and they got the juice too. Like I like that the little Orlovskis got the juice. They are probably a problem if I had to guess, but they got the juice, and I'm pumped to see what they do.
When your father's got the juice.
When's Orlovsky going to start judging his kids? You think at some point he's going to be
Soon.
my one son. He stinks, and then he'll go to this other one, because that's kind of the way Orlovsky operates. But
Well, normally with him, if they stink, he'll say they'll probably be MVP or something like that.
oh yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
How can you, dude?
Let's go to Hunter in Texas. What's going on, Hunter?
Pat, boys, what is going on?
Hey, shout out to you. If you could hold your phone, maybe move a little closer to it, that'd be great. But thank you for calling us, Hunter. What part of Texas are you in? We hope everything's okay down there.
Did he just hang up while he moved
put
the phone?
he put it closer
to you.
Hit the red button.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Oh,
Was he on speaker, you think? Bluetooth?
Sounded like he might have had his phone up on the dash on
Sounded like he
speaker.
might have
yeah.
had
he was
sweet
driving.
earpiece.
Yeah, exactly.
Mitt, if you can get Hunter from Texas back on, go ahead.
Call him back, man.
Help him out. Help that guy out, Mitt.
Call him back.
Mitt has on his Twitter information. He's phone guy for Pat McAfee show. I didn't know that. Was very Money Mitt. He is the phone guy. Hey, Mitt, great work back there, pal.
Thanks, Mitt.
Nice job,
Mitt,
Mitt.
really good work, Mitt.
We love you, Mitt.
Tell them to make sure they're as far away from their phones as possible whenever they talk, all right, Mitt? Thank you, pal. Let's go to Tyler in New Jersey. What's going on?
Hey, Pat, how's it going, boys? How we living?
You're reading Money Mitt's bio. Everything's good, Tyler. Everything's good. Sorry about that. Diggs just had an inside thought that crept outside. What do you want to talk about, Tyler?
So I wanted to see if you guys heard about the Washington football team and all the dumpster fires that have been going down there recently. Obviously, like you guys talk about, they said they're changing their name again.
Yeah, I think that's a Sports Illustrated article. In 2022, the future of the team will remain. I think that's buying them some more time to potentially figure out what they want to do. That was always the plan, I think, when the Washington football team went out there. Now, granted, it was a lot of fun to think of names for them. The Red Wolves went on a hell of a run for that potentially being a name. There was people howling on the internet. Now, there are no Wolves in the Washington, D.C. area, except for politicians. Am I right? Am I right?
Bezos is over there.
Well, speaking of, so he is trying to get involved, and everybody thought potentially that the newspaper he owns that did the private investigating into the expose of the Washington football team and the Washington team name before that, he was potentially trying to get in to own the Washington football team. Now, we do know that Bezos, who stepped down from Amazon or whatever to do whatever, he could buy the entire league if he wanted to. So it's not just like the Washington football team is the only team he could buy. He could buy the entire league if he wanted to, and the NBA, and numerous other companies if he wanted to, just strictly off the money he's made in the last 13 months or whatever. So it is now alleged that he's meeting with some firms to potentially buy ownership in the Washington football team. Jeff Bezos has been interested in the NFL team ownership for some time, reports Front Office Sports. Bezos' attorney spoke with Baltimore-based sports investment banking firm Moog & Company, which led the effort to sell a portion of the Washington football team. So Jeff Bezos is potentially going to buy this banking firm, and then he's automatically going to become potential ownership of the Washington football team. Allegedly, Snyder's business partners were trying to push him out last year as the exposés were coming out. He was holding firm on the ownership of that entire team. Now they got a new name, potentially new owner. It feels like it's inevitable that Bezos is probably going to be the owner of that team. They'll have a new name that they haven't figured out yet because they don't have the new owner that they're going to get. But Sports Illustrated is reporting that they've transitioned from their old name. Now it's time to write a new legacy. The future of Washington football arrives in 2022. Excited to see what name it is whenever they go forward. And who's the owner? Is Bezos going to be the owner of the damn team?
If you're the NFL, Dan Snyder, Jeff Bezos. Like, who do you want in your league?
Well, the thing about it, Jeff Bezos walk into that meeting with 29 other billionaires or whatever and look at all of them and say, fuck you, I'll buy your team right now. And I don't know if all the other owners can do that. Sure. You know what I mean? I don't, that's, you got to remember, they have to okay you to come into, the old billionaires club or whatever. It's either a legacy or you have to get okay going in there. Remember, the MLB wouldn't let Mark Cuban in there because Mark Cuban probably comes in their personality. Let's go ahead and do this thing. If the NFL other owners don't want to do business with you, they can definitely keep you out. Jeff Bezos is a guy with the amount of, he can build his own country right now within America if he wanted to. I would assume the NFL would be excited to have him in there, but don't put anything past those old billionaires that have been making money for a long time being like, fuck that guy. I don't even order. I get somebody to get my groceries to my door myself. I don't need fucking Amazon.
Keep that buffoon Dan Snyder here. He makes us all look a lot better.
A lot better. Our teams aren't the dumpster fire or the expose if we got Dan Snyder. And now Bezos does own, Twitch and like 4 newspapers and everything. If we get an owner in here that owns all the media, maybe we become state-run media organization.
More rich.
Jeff Bezos is going to become an owner, I would assume. But it would be interesting to hear the other billionaires voting on whether or not they would want him in there. It's like...
Cal McNair would be voting no.
Cal McNair and Jack Easterby. Probably vote no.
Man, the stadium he would build for the football team. He'd probably build just one stadium strictly for Super Bowls.
He might put a bubble over all of D.C., though, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
True.
Free Amazon.
Could you imagine having that fucking cake that he has?
Honestly,
it's too much.
The amount of discipline. How do you not buy everything?
Yeah, or put $1 billion on a game every single time you want to bet.
Or donate like $200 billion to whatever.
Yeah.
Be a hero, obviously.
Of course, that was my
Hour 2 is wrapping up. We're back on the other side with Josh Norman and AJ Hawk. You got about 6 minutes. We'll see you then.
Hi, how's it going? My name's Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric in Brookings, South Dakota. Let's go!
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who is my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not one we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Hayduke! Daniel Russo!
Wax on! Wax off! Knee to the face!
Yes! Serious.
Go! Go! Yes!
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life play against that ball. Oklahoma State is the way here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. Look at this crowd. They've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town. They lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000. And when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Vinatieri School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that place in.
No, don't do that. No. Leave. Coach.
C has the Pat says it'll be no.
I told you when I came on your radio show that we were going to get you on College Game Day.
Not only are you incredibly intelligent and handsome, you're a man of your word. You picked North Dakota today, so I had to bury you.
That's okay.
But it's been nothing but incredible. The College Game Day crew is hospitable. In South Dakota State, I think we can all agree, they showed up here.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I've watched the show, obviously, forever. And it's on in every single NFL locker room. I told you that.
Yeah, cool.
So this is a big-time deal for me, my family, my friends.
All right, I'm back in the day here. Appreciate you, boys.
It's from the training room of the Colts. AJ Watt tweeted
defeated. I think it's very hard to process as a human being how tough this shit is. I get texts from every human that I've ever done television with, like since way back in the day. They're like, we knew this day would come. Equipment managers, old teammates. I mean, you don't get to trend on Twitter often anymore. They make it damn near impossible. Go up onto a stage with a couple legends, talk some shit in front of the incredible South Dakota fans. What an awesome opportunity.
A couple people, one college kid, took a shot at my swag.
We know. We know. We don't like that kid.
I don't think a lot of people understand what swag is. You know, some of this younger generation thinks, you know, swag is just like the clothes I wear or whatever. No. The swag is a mentality. Yeah. Swag is a mindset. I tried to tell this to some of the guys in the locker room this week. I said, swagger, which is what swag comes from. Swagger is a mindset. Swagger isn't that you have a Supreme backpack on. Or that you have your shoes, you know, unlaced walking around with, you know, you got your new Louis fanny pack that you make sure it's not worn at your waist. It's worn over your shoulder. That's not swag. That's not swagger. That's fashion choices. True swag is owning your inner essence. It's a mindset. Mm-hmm. And my essence on the field is that I feel like I'm a throwback player and I'm a tough guy. What I've played through, how I wear my stuff, you know, I'm kind of a no-nonsense, straightforward. To me, that's what swag is all about.
You're damn right.
All this like fake swag out there. I got my special towel. I got this. Or I got that. I got this writing out there. A lot of you guys are just posing.
All right.
Yeah. Look, I just wanna make a living, I just wanna do it right. I'm just trying to take what isn't given past the oversight. I'm just trying to make a killing, didn't happen overnight. They talk about my name so much, they start to get over. I gotta ask you, what's your motivation? Are you driven, are you bold? Can you turn this into something on your own?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 here. Alongside a man who is known as the Swag God. Oh, yeah. We'll begin after this beat drop for Twine. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Joining us now, Swag God AJ Hawk.
Yes!
Thank you, Swag God. What up, Swagoo, dude? How you doing, pal?
I didn't know if Josh Norman had a new nickname or something.
No, I do like your shirt, though. I like what you're doing for Josh Norman. A little Coastal Carolina reference there. Is that what that is?
No, but it could be, I guess. I know he went to college there. This has nothing to do with Coastal, but hey, they're a good team this year.
Well, the Chanticleers, isn't that a rooster?
Shant?
I thought so.
Rooster's good chicken.
Great chicken.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, Gump. You like Gump?
Gump was one of the first people on here that knew about roosters.
Okay, let's talk real quick about what you tried to do last week, by the way, which I did not know about. I guess it was in hour 3 when I was not listening. I was on the beach trying not to die from umbrellas flying around. You tried to make this a cuck show. What the fuck is going on? Not only do you ruin my desk, okay, I thank you. I thank you for what you did. Great show.
Thank you, AJ.
Great show, AJ. I appreciate what you did. But what happened with the cuck conversation? This is not that type of show. It's a sports conversation. So why did you have to do that? What do you just get behind this microphone on this desk and say, you know what, let's ruin everything? Like, how does that come across your incredibly big mind?
Okay, so you're saying this after 10 minutes ago, I watched maybe 4 minutes of all of you guys just singing together, and then you go back into the song. Like, oh, you come out of it. Oh, here, we're about to start the show. Oh, here we go. We're back into a song. So
here we go.
I very much enjoyed watching it, though, by the way. I thought that was very fun.
Thank you. It's good vibes, just like Celsius, which is today's sponsor. It is
so good.
Yeah. Have you had any? Do you had it?
I spilled a can right there.
Okay, so not only did you try to break my phone or my computer, it doesn't work. You wasted gold. in Celsius all over the goddamn
Gold,
place.
AJ.
Jeez. What's the cuck thing? You text me and I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys I guess you had a full cuck conversation about Tom Brady going down to Tampa and winning. If you're a New England fan, how you got to be? You were like, well, some people like that type of thing. And then they got into a full cuck conversation. And that is not what this show is, AJ. Okay? That is not what this show is.
We didn't get into a full conversation about it, but I was just saying, for everyone like on the planet, I feel like that watched that boat parade, you're like, man, wouldn't that be awesome if I was on that team and I got to take part in this? And so I used it saying, what if you're a Patriots player and you were with Tom last year, you're Bill Belichick? It would be tough to watch that. It's like a bittersweet thing. Like, I'm happy for my friend, but I really wish I was there.
For my wife.
Yeah, but then you started taking it into places it didn't have to go because this is a sports show. We do have to make, because the YouTube commenters are keeping me updated. Congrats, Bobby Shmurda has been.
Yeah, Bobby!
Thank you, Bobby. Throw the hat. Welcome back. Can't wait to hear the banger he creates. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who has been there, done that with everything. Pro Bowl, All-Pro, a member of the Buffalo Bills, formerly of the Carolina Panthers, Washington football team. I don't know if it's still his nickname was called Lake Norman. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Norman.
Yeah!
What's going on, Josh? How you doing, pal?
What's up, Pat? How you doing, bro?
I'm fantastic.
You and Hawk over here.
Yeah, me and AJ. Can't thank you enough for joining us. You're joining us to talk about what you're doing with the Boys and Girls Club in your hometown. Absolutely incredible. Stars 24 Teen Center. Can you talk about that a little bit, by the way? Giving back to the community. Let's go. That's what it's all about. Let's talk about that a little bit here, Josh, before we dive into some things.
Yeah, man, this has been, 10 years in common. Started back in 2012. Hometown. Greenwood, South Carolina. I went out there and I said move, and I moved in this space, and it was to get kids excited for something that was coming because they closed down the rec center, so the kids got into a little bit of gang-related activity and violence. And back then we rose to the number of murder rate in the state of South Carolina, which is unheard of. Something that I never thought that could ever happen in my hometown. And so we started putting on activities. And there we found Stars 24, the Stars being the kids and backed by me. And so we went out there and started creating these events for them each and every year. But we looked up 5 years later and was like, hey, look, man, we need some brick and mortar. We need something on the ground for these kids to go to. Events is great, but what can we have to have a center? And so probably like 2017, I ended up running into a couple of people with the Boys and Girls Club that was on founding the board of that center. And so I ended up going in, having communications with them and met with them and telling them my idea and what I wanted to do, my hometown. And so we ended up having a great partnership. And so we ended up breaking ground on 2019.
Let's go.
Pre-COVID.
Let's go.
Yeah. And so 21 coming up on Friday, 26, we will be cutting the ribbon for the Stars 2014.
Congratulations. Doing good things, changing the world. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on doing that. Happy I just learned that about you, by the way. Did not know you've been doing that for years. Thank you for taking care of your community. Let's talk about football now, shall we?
Hey, but I like how you spent that. I like how you just went through that and just shoot. Let's go right into it.
Yeah, well, I think it's an awesome thing, and we'll get to it at the end, by the way, because whenever you were we'll get back to it, because I think whenever you see somebody who has taken, the world by storm in their profession, giving back to the community, it gives a lot of people hope. But let's talk about this. When you're with Carolina, it feels like you were a much different player than you are now in Buffalo. I feel like back whenever you were with Carolina, a lot of noise was coming around Josh Norman. Maybe it was shit talking or whatever. You've gotten to Buffalo now. Have you completely transformed into this quiet assassin up there? What has there been a transition, or has it just been not as much coverage on Josh Norman?
Well, Pat, I think like when you get to a certain place in life, things change, and you start to see what life really is and what it's all about. I think coming into the league in Carolina, but before I say that, I think it's a fine line between confident and being cocky. And back in those days, for sure in Carolina, man, I had so much cockiness about me, and my moxie was through the roof.
Good word.
And I really wanted to take out everybody I saw, and that was something that within me, I wanted that bad, really bad. And so as I developed into the person I wanted to be, because I've always wanted to be the #1 cornerback in the world, not just on a team, just all time. Like that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And my mindset was going to get that. And I wanted to be the highest paid. Mindset always wanted to do that. Being all pro bowler, being a championship winner of the game, the Super Bowl. I've always wanted those things. And I've accomplished, all those except one, and now, when I got, when I went to Washington and those things happened, I guess a couple years after that, I started to really look. When I got to my 30s, man, like, yo, what is this life really about? I'm passionate for football. I found I thought it was going to be my purpose, but actually I quickly found that this is a passion of mine. Like, I love to do it, but what is life? If I go through this life and you remember me as just a football player on my tombstone, that's what you put, then I failed you all.
That's awesome.
So what if I'm really doing, what if I'm giving back to people to get them to where I'm at in this life? So I've looked at what's my purpose, and I've been doing it all along. It's been giving back to people and helping people, get to that next level within their life because somebody helped me. And now I'm trying to just pay that back for it and give them grace where fathers have shown me. And that's where all this is coming from, truly. Awesome. Just finding that personal relationship with him and developing myself through that.
Hey, speaking of that moxie that you're talking about to play corner, to be an elite corner at any level, don't you have to have a crazy amount of confidence in yourself? Yeah, it may look like cockiness, but you're on an island. Like there's not a whole lot of help for you. If you lose that, I can imagine it'd be a very difficult position.
Yeah, for sure. That is to be on the island, you have to have that. But I also, those guys who are masters at their craft, who masters at the game, they gotta have a little craziness. They gotta have a little something to them that sets them apart from the rest. And you can probably look on your hand and count how many of those are, because they have to go a little bit deeper than others. And for myself, I knew that I had to outwork and work harder than anybody else. And I still stay out to practice and get it, because my mindset is I don't want to be outworked by anyone.
How old are you? How old are you, Josh?
33. Yeshua's age. 33.
Hey, 33 playing corner in the NFL is that is the most difficult position athletically for people to stay at. Are you going to move, you think? Will Sean McDermott have you move around in there? Are you open to that? Has that conversation happened, anything like that? Or what is?
No, man, listen, man, I felt so good last year, to the point where, my moving, my ability, nothing that's in a part of shut off or changing awesome. That aspect. It's just now, those ops that we get, the opportunities that present themselves. Of course, that position is different, it's difficult. But when you in the position as long as we've been in, it has to be now I've been here before. I have the knowledge. I have the capabilities of how to stop somebody who's extra fast, how to stop somebody who's quick. My technique and what I use and how my hand placement on a guy, I'm more so well equipped in my knowledge of what I've been given, because I've seen so many guys that I can stop that because of being in the league so long and seeing how many routes and what the route combinations are.
Who's somebody? It's incredible. Obviously, there's a lot of studs that play wide receiver, but throughout your years, have you, as you've changed the way you play now at this point, who's the hardest type of wide receiver to defend? Obviously, Tyreek Hill, who runs a 4.1 or whatever, that's going to be difficult. But what is the receiver now in today's NFL that is the most difficult? Is it with the rules and the way everything is?
I think yourself mentally.
Hey, that's some deep shit, Josh. That is some very, very deep shit right there. That is very, very deep.
No, it's real, being real. If you're gonna tell yourself, "Oh, this guy's fast," I don't know, my hands sweating. I don't know if I miss a jam. I may not be able quick. No, I'm fast. I'm gonna whoop his. You know what? This line, so you don't get off. And if I do slip him, this is how I gotta recover. You gotta outthink that receiver before he outthinks you. Because he already know when you get up to the line, I see it split. It's quarter half inside. So how am I gonna split this? How am I'm going to get around him. All right, guess what? Right before the ball snap, guess what I'm going to do? I don't want him to go outside. So I'm inside. I'm quarter split. I let him know that. All right, cool. Right before the ball snap, he already looking at me. He about to look back at the ball because he got to see it snap so he can take off. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it up. Outside. So right now he like, oh, shoot, I'm flustered. So how do I get away from that? The very good ones, like wide receivers at the top of the league can do that. They can get away from that. They can switch it up because how you switch it up, it's just like playing chess. It's not checkers.
Close to
chess. You can switch it up real quick. Diggs, oh my gosh, that guy, he switches it up. I mean, you can see what he does. Like he stutter steps, his stop, his slows. Like he never runs the route the same. And if you notice that, he's one of those guys that catch you off beat, man. You have to be in the game with him, and it's real chess playing, that guy. So, it's all about how you perceive, that wide receiver.
Did you have all that when you came in the league, or did you have was there an older guy that kind of taught you the way or showed you the way?
No, I didn't have that when I came in the league. I had to develop it. It's almost like having a tool belt, an arsenal of tools. Like I didn't develop my punch out until after 2015-16, being able to see it and believe in what I can do. Like I saw Peanut do it. Like he came and he was playing with us that year, and then I saw how I wanted to be better at him. I wanted to be better at the punch out than he was, because that's all I heard. My coach Steve Whips was telling me all I heard, like, here, Peanut, you can punch out. And I just saw it, and I'm like, listen, I'm tired of hearing this crap. I'm about to steal this man move. And I put it in my tool belt, and I just used it as I couldn't get nothing in the air, so I get it on the ground. Like, it's got to be a mindset.
Is that the mindset that, puts you in an interesting – I mean, this year you got put in an interesting – I mean, it was the internet, What? Yeah.
So I gotta ask you a question. Why is that so hard to say? Like, what is wrong with this?
Because I don't want you to think like, hey, I'm disrespecting because all the great things.
No disrespect. You already know the game. Like you play for how long?
Okay,
bro?
good.
Like,
you got there by Derek.
You know the game.
Yeah, you got there. It's gonna happen, right? That's your mindset.
Like, come on, man. Like everybody know, I'm going to go for the football. That's the first and foremost thing, regardless of if I get put out there or not. Like there's many people that get put on those type of like posters and memes or just trying to go for the ball. Like I don't care nothing about that. If I can get the ball back for my team, I can be put on 1,000 memes.
Hell yeah.
As long as we win that freaking football game is all I care about, man. But guess what? If it happens again, I'm gonna come back and do the same thing. Like I don't care. Like it's the game. This is what we play. People use it as, oh, shoot, this is social worlds. That's what happened, man. People get caught up in this social media crap.
That's right.
They take it and they use it. But they didn't show the next 3 plays we came back and we got off the field, made 3 plays in a row. But no, they're not trying to show that.
Well, that's by the way,
that don't sell.
By the way, that's why when I bring it up, I'm like, you did a lot of great things. Have to talk about this because I live in the internet, so I have to.
But it's who we are though. Like it always have to be something towards us, and I get it. Like we built that. We make that for ourselves, so people still have that, whatever they feel about me on that. And I get it. It is what it is. But for me, I'm always going to take that pressure road. I'm always going to take it as, all right, this is who I am inside these lines. And I'm going to bring it. So you better bring it. And if you're going to bring it, I'm going to bring it even more. That's awesome. And so he did, and it's cool. Hey, it happened. I tried to get at the ball. He threw me down. I got back up, got in his face like, we're going to be here all day. It didn't even count.
So let's.
Golly. But, that's just what this social world is. So.
Well, to be honest, we live in that social world, and it's a toxic place. So I do apologize, but I am very thankful that you did something amazing in your hometown with the Boys and Girls Club. I know you got some conversations to promote that. I hope more people talk about that instead of, the moment where you're trying to get the ball back for your damn team, and the actual avatar cutout gave you a stiff arm. I mean, that's not going to happen. We appreciate you so much, Josh. Good luck with everything, man.
Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Norman. Yeah, Shout out Josh Norman, man.
Shout out.
I had to ask.
Had to.
Had to ask about it. Didn't want to, though, because he has done so many good things. But whenever something happens like that, you got to. I mean, he got to, especially MVP year potentially for a running back.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? And by the way, I love the fact that he got up and he said, hey, we're going to do this again. Don't you worry about it. It takes a certain mental toughness, to your point asking him, AJ, to be able to get got like that and then just get right back up and be like, I don't give a single damn about it. Good for Josh Norman. That dude's been through a lot in his career.
Yeah, he has, and he's also like does he still work for Fox? Like he's still playing, he's still doing studio shows for them.
We talked about that yesterday whenever we heard he was coming on the show. Him and Ryan Clark at the same time were kind of doing like ESPN while playing, but kind of setting up for, and then that kind of stopped, I think, right? That's what I meant, by the way, with like Josh Norman. Like there was a lot of noise around Josh Norman when he was at Carolina. Then he goes to Washington, a lot of noise around. Now he's up in Buffalo, and that team's doing very well. And it's almost like when he was talking about different, when you get different ages or whatever. That was a great conversation. Very deep. I did not expect that. That was awesome.
Is there many teammates that like earlier in their career they were cocky and louder that they did mature then and become like Josh is now, who just?
I'm sure it's happened before. I'm not. I don't know though. Nobody was really with our locker room. I mean, I guess towards the end there, it kind of, you could see the world changing, society changing as the locker room got younger there towards the end. But it's hard to walk in there and be arrogant, when like Peyton's quarterback. Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? Like Andrew
Reggie.
Luck's there and Reggie's there. It's kind of hard to be like, yeah, I'm the motherfucking guy here. It's like, no, there actually is the motherfucking guy is here actually. So, I mean, I'm the punter. You're definitely above me, but you are nowhere. Okay, so we got to figure that out. That's kind of like an NFL locker room, though. Josh Norman was a dude, like he was the dude though for a long time, So it's just in that position, you got to be able to have it. I was excited to chat with him there. That's a good thing he's got going on.
I think he has a healthy outlook on like becoming a gift. Getting Derrick Henry. I don't think anyone can blame him for getting stiff arm, but yeah, he's going for the ball. And I wanted to ask him. I wonder if players, I know what happens with coaches. I know coaches feel pressure from the outside, from the media and everything, and social media is big, but do you think players play any differently, like subconsciously, because they are worried about what it may look like online?
A lot of people don't take chances anymore in life. I don't know about players, but I'm just talking about in life. People don't take chances anymore. You don't see a lot of people, and that was a part of that social dilemma thing, by the way, with like how everybody's starting to look the exact same, basically. Everybody's starting to act the exact same. You don't really see as many people. You still see people that are outliers or whatever, but because of the conformity of everything, if you do this, you're going to get got. People are less likely to take risks, I guess, which is probably smarter in the long haul for things, but it's also a shame because you're not getting to see the, some special abilities potentially because they're scared they're going to get mocked or ridiculed. I would assume NFL guys are at the point where they don't care, but I would assume college guys, there's a lot of potential decisions being made because of social media and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. You have to take risks. We wouldn't have Tesla or SpaceX if Elon never took a chance, right?
Yeah, or Top Shot. I mean, fucking A.
Starlink.
Fucking A. Starlink going down. Not in Indiana yet. It can get to the fucking moon. This guy. Let's get to a break.
So you can buy gifts?
Yeah. I bought one $580 is on Duncan, dude. 3-4 years from now. We crashed the site.
Yeah, still disabled.
We potentially crashed the site today.
I can't sell my car.
We're a part of the site crashing, which is cool because Top Shot's the next wave, babe.
Oh, yeah. Then you can sell that. You're going to buy it, and then you're going to sell it to some other stooge that wants to buy a gift?
Whoa. Nah, stooge I'm going to sell it to hasn't been born yet. 13, 14 years. There'll be some 15-year-old using his dad's credit card. I'm going to sell that thing.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll have to get on there. Is there a site I can go to?
Well, it's crashed right now, yeah. So
not right now.
Can't do anything. Let's get to a break.
I like your shirt, by the way.
I'm a Jack Easterby guy.
That's good. Me too. So am I.
He gave us, a week and a half of shows.
Oh, yeah.
This guy gave us
He's not done. I don't think he's done.
I don't think so either. I'm excited to see what his role inevitably is 2-3 years from now. But
President of the United States.
Potentially. Yeah. First it's an NFL franchise, then it's the United States. Going to be tough with Dwayne Johnson making a run.
Oh,
that's going to be difficult, but if anybody can do it,
debate. It's a debate between Jack and Dwayne.
Oh my God, if anybody can do it, it's a chaplain that crip walks during the service.
What if they unite forces too? President VP.
What up, Fish? Yeah, you ever seen the chaplain crip walk, dude? Cal McDermott was like, give me that motherfucker. All right, let's get to a break, all right? I'm a Jack Easterby guy. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
President of the Texans soon.
We're going to get sued, probably.
No.
For this
By
shit.
God.
No way.
Jack can't take any more negative PR hits.
Yes, he
Send him a
can.
cut. All you got to do is send him a cut. You're good.
We're not going to sell any of these.
We'll put some on the collection plate for him.
Oh, that's a good idea. Smart. We'll pass it around. 10th. Gotta pay tithes, dude. Gotta pay tithes. All right, on the other side, we got some.
You say tides? Tides?
I think that's what it is, right?
That was tenths.
Yeah, you got it. I think you got it, yeah.
I know that from a Rick Ross song. I forget what it might be. Devil is a Lie. He talks in there. Gotta pay tithes.
The tides of March.
And I looked up. I was like, "Where's tides?" And I realized that's like it's a wave. And sometimes those do turn, but it's also the money expected from the Lord people from you if you want to serve at our potential place.
Tithe.
Who?
Tithe.
Who?
T-I-T-H-E.
That is not how Rick Ross pronounced it. So
that's not on you.
That's not on me, dude.
It
My
means tenth in
professor, Rick Ross, he told me gotta pay tithes. Maybe he did say tithes.
It means tenth in Hebrew.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, so you're paying 1/10 of your salary?
I knew it was something with tenths.
Yeah, to the church.
That's what.
Which church?
That's what tithing is. 10%.
Yeah.
Which church?
I
All
believe
of them?
most of them. Yeah.
Oh,
Except- yeah.
So they tipped like Bill.
Yeah. 10% of everything you earn.
Bill gives less than a tithe.
Yeah, 10% would be a rare day for Bill.
Bill gives a 25th. 25th. All right, let's get to a break.
Hey, before you go to a break, quick, I watched two teammates argue over tithing, whether you tithe your gross or your net income. And I think the argument is still going on. I saw this maybe 12 years ago.
It's got to be net. I mean, I'm not in that community, but I'd be pitching hard with the preacher man that it is net, pal. Okay, we got Uncle Sam fucking coming after us. We got what? We got everything. God understands, right? Taxes are going up.
Yeah, he gets it.
God understands.
Is it a tax write-off to do a tenth?
A tithe?
Teeth?
I do believe so.
I'd assume that all churches are nonprofit, right? That's why it's all kind of cash.
Yeah. There you go.
I do think it's a write-off.
So it's gross.
What if I give mine to the Amish?
Oh, they can't take it.
They can take your money, and they fucking will take your money. Hey, listen, the McAfees know the Amish, all right? Tim used to work in the wood industry.
Yeah.
I know some Amish families. Jeremiah, big fan of McAfees, okay?
Really?
They just can't use TurboTax or anything like that.
Yeah, they can. Well, somebody else can, though, while they sit right behind it.
True.
There's probably Amish people watching this show right now, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they got some modern stooge or whatever it's called just to use it, and then they stand behind them and just do the whole thing. Modern stooge.
Modern.
It's called something. They refer to us as-
Mennonites. There's Mennonites that are like different levels, right?
Yeah, those are fake. But the Amish people refer to us as something, and they use the.
I'm waiting for Tim to put it in the
Mennonites
chat.
are just the Amish, but they're out west.
No, the Mennonites are fake. They're like they're not even selling that they're completely full of shit like the Amish are. You know what I mean? Like the Mennonites, they're in cars, they're in vans. They don't cover up all their hair, only some of their hair.
I watched a special on them. You better watch what you say about
Well,
them.
the Amish Mafia too. Them motherfuckers will come kill you.
Whoa.
Yeah, but we're good with the Amish.
Like Paul
love
Revere
the
will
Amish.
come get you.
That was all bullshit too, huh, Paul Revere?
Yeah, he's a liar.
One if
Come
by land,
on.
two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. He's blacked out drunk. Turns out that was not real at all. That was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it was Middlesex County. That's where I'm from. I've been down the road where Paul
It wasn't
Revere
him, it was
rode.
the other guy, dude.
Was it bullshit?
No, it was real.
You can't talk, we can't talk to Connor seriously with that on.
Bro, most ridiculous Connor I've ever seen.
Not
What are you
real.
talking about?
Bro, somebody was answering early, and I looked over at him, and he had like a question, and that face just stared at me, and I just started dying laughing in the middle of the conversation.
It's Daft Punk Day.
It's like a divorced, out-of-work Cyclops from the X-Men.
Daft Punk just retired.
Grant, I want you
Paying
back.
homage.
That same thing just happened to me, Pat, when they cut over to Connor, and he's having like a real argument with him.
Keep going. Let's try to see his eyeballs.
I don't get it. I mean,
How do you
for
see
Daft
it?
Punk? How do I see? I actually kind of can. I've been blind the whole show.
Hey,
It's out of respect.
rest in peace, Daft Punk.
Thank you, Daft Punk.
Around the world,
Around the world, around the world, around the world.
Let's get to the break, please. We'll be back on the other side with phone calls. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Hello and welcome to Office Championship Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a straight to hell match in which the devil will battle against our office wrestler, Dylan Boston. You might be wondering how we got here. Let's find out right now.
And now,
we have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, no big deal. Classic trial by combat situation. We got our champion, Dylan Bostic. All he's got to do, win the match, 1, 2, 3, and we're home safe.
The only man that would take the job to protect us from the devil himself, Dylan Bostic.
Like you mentioned, Pat, there's probably about 5 or 6 other guys we'd rather have in this position, but we'll take Bostic, I guess.
Not only are all of our souls on the line, the Office Championship Wrestling Championship presented by Natural Light is also on the line.
Jesus, the devil's trying to put Bostic straight to hell!
I do not want to go to hell!
No!
Don't do it!
Good God, no! Come on, Bostic, Pat!
Oh, no! Oh, my...
I'll see you in hell, Pat. The goddamn Easter Bunny's out here! What the hell's he doing here?
The Easter Bunny is obviously here to help Dylan Bostic. Wait a minute. No!
No!
The Easter Bunny's been on the devil's side this whole time. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
What the hell's Jesus Christ doing here?
The power of Christ is compelling Dylan Bostic.
Look at this, Pat! Jesus Christ is bringing Bostic back to life! Jesus is going insane! And now Bostic's kicking wholesale ass in the ring!
Jesus Christ has come to help Dylan Bostic defeat the devil and defeat the Easter Bunny. What's gonna happen here?
Good God Almighty, it looks like he's going up in the scissor lift!
Jesus is lifting the scissor lift! Jesus is now telling Bostic to come down.
Don't do it, Bostic! Don't do it! Oh my God!
Oh,
Bostic's dead! He's dead! You can't tell from home, but that scissor lift is about 8 stories up, Pat!
80 feet in the air! Oh wait, he's tuning up the bed! The devil!
Super kick! Into the casket! The devil goes down! The devil goes down!
He shuts the casket!
Straight
back to hell! The devil goes straight back to hell, where he belongs!
With the assist from Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Dylan Bostic saves the PMI Office's souls and wins the OCW Championship right here on our first OCW.
Hey, listen, tonight, you in the red, you in the blue. I hate you both, and fuck you too. Before I leave here, I'm knocking all of you out. Cheers. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You too. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Bang, and I'm out. Get me out.
It sound right, boys.
Give us a call at 888-MAD-DOG-6. Pat wants to hear from you. No, not really. He just ran out of things to talk about. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Breaking news.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
What's this? Oh.
Breaking news.
Is it actually breaking news?
Yeah, we do have some breaking news, actually. I was waiting to use Trey Melee's song there, Breaking News, until we did have some actual breaking news. And AJ, this is not normally in the vibe of our show, but a goat had something happen to him which involved the jaws of life. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has released a statement stating that at 7:12 a.m. local time this morning, Eldrick Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover incident where the jaws of life had to be used to get him out of the vehicle. He is injured, I guess, some sort. T's and P's to Tiger. This is obviously very, very scary to hear that the jaws of life had to be used. What happened? They said they're still investigating. He was golfing with Dwayne Wade, I believe, yesterday. That's why he was out in Los Angeles, probably has a home out there. He got into a crash in Ranchos Palos Verdes at Hawthorne Boulevard near Black Horse Road. Fire crews had to use the jaws of life to get him out of the vehicle. We are sending up our T's and P's to the GOAT of golf, Tiger Woods, hoping everything's okay. We do know he has back issues already at this point. His body has been beaten to hell. Now, I would assume that nothing too serious happened to him, or that would have already came out, but we're kind of getting this news in real time. What do you have covered,
So Tiger was in California for a 2-day content shoot with Golf Digest, Golf TV, after serving as the host for the PGA Tour's Genesis Invitational over the weekend. He was with David Spade and Dwayne Wade yesterday. He didn't golf anything because of his back, and he did not show up for the shoot for the second day today, obviously
because he's currently in the hospital. Hope he's okay, by the way. Hope he's okay out there, AJ.
Yeah, well, I knew he wasn't playing golf because he did that interview with Jim Nantz and said, I don't think he's swung a club in a while.
Well, I think he was golfing with Dwayne Wade yesterday.
It said he wasn't hitting balls. He was hitting a couple putts and stuff like that, but he was giving like instructions to them.
Little insider information here. We were potentially supposed to do one of these shoots with Tiger during the fall season, okay? Potentially same week as War Games cage match, which was going to be put together. So him and Golf Digest, I think, have an incredible relationship. You see a lot of videos of Golf Digest with Tiger hitting different shots in your social media platforms and everything like that. That is the thing that I was talking about, though, with these. They schedule these couple-day shoots where he has his sponsors or something like that, people that are a part of he does business with, and they're able to shoot content alongside of him. But the schedule to keep his body in playing shape, you have to kind of work around, obviously. There's a warm-up. He's not playing, so it wasn't the same thing. Hope he's okay, but that would have been dope to get some content. It just didn't work out time-wise. Hope he's okay. Excited to see what him, David Spade, and Dwayne Wade made, though, and hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. They said he sustained injuries. They don't say, we don't know how bad they are. I'm sure there will be pictures surfacing soon.
Major. What happened? He hurt his back, right? He hurt his back whenever he was playing with Charlie a month and a half ago, but battled through because Charlie was balling out stealing the weekend. Hopefully it's not the same type of issue. Hopefully he'll still be able to golf. That is big-ass news, though, in the sports world. So I'm happy Trey Melee said, hey, JQ, please. Sound, Jay. Missed it.
Oh, no.
Don't know the song well enough. I thought we were potentially coming right back to a breaking news. Shout out to Trey Melee. Let's get some phone calls. Hope Tiger's okay. Let's get to Mark in Sacramento, California. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, Patty. How's it going? How's it going, AJ? How's it going, boys?
Boy, Mark. Appreciate you. Everything's good. What do you want to talk about, pal?
Well, I mean, one, that's incredible news about Tiger. I have two pictures up on my wall. By the way, I'm Mark DeChambeau from Sacramento from your annual Pat McAfee Foundation golf tournament, which is an awesome foundation, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Yeah, thank you, Mark. And by incredible, you meant like incredibly bad news, big news. It obviously is. Tiger Woods is the god, Mark. It's great to hear from you, pal. What do you want to talk about? And thanks for coming out to the tournament, by the way. You made that long voyage over here. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Hell yeah, man. I'm going to do it again, I think, this year if it happens.
I don't know if I'm doing it again.
So, either way, I was watching the NFL's rendition of Mic'd Up for the 2020 season, and I saw a clip of Deshaun Watson say, I masturbated, and I'm ready to go. Does that mean you go to Pittsburgh to go learn from Big Ben?
Okay, Mark. All right. Good line there, Mark.
Oh, squeaky
he
elbow.
Actually, as soon as that video came out, by the way, which was, I would assume, weeks before Deshaun Watson actually came out and talked about how he said he was activated, that clip made its way around the office. And I do believe, now, I was the only one that said, did he just say he masturbated and he's ready to go? And everybody looked at me like I was a student, said, no, he said he was activated and ready to go. But boy, it sure did sound like Deshaun Watson said, I'm masturbated and I'm ready to go. And if he needs to do that to get going, I think wherever he ends up, even if it's Houston's like, hey, do what you got to do to yourself, pal. Don't do what Ben Roethlisberger did.
When you're rolling those M's into A's and you're using activated with, I mean, it just sounds, because if you put an M before activated, I'm activated. I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, and he did say it quickly. I like the fact, though, that he's speaking to himself like, hey, I'm activated. I'm ready to go. those self-talks, you hear Aaron Donald,
Yeah, Super
whenever he's
Bowl.
mic'd up, it's fucking awesome. It's like, hey, this is what you work for. This is what you fucking work for.
Come on, eh?
Self-talk happens a lot more than people think. I think a lot of people have mocked it and ridiculed it, like, oh, that guy's talking to himself. Self-talk happens all the time. And the fact that mic'd up's starting to show that a little bit more, I'm very appreciative of that. Because, boy, me talking to myself, like, hey, fucking bomb time, pal. Here we go. Don't fucking lose. Don't fuck this up for your team. Here we go. That's like, imagine me being mic'd up going, okay, don't fuck this up. And then running that, like, McAfee has no hope in himself at all when he walks out there. What do you got, Nick?
I caught you giving yourself a self-talk the other day, walking into the studio. You had just got done talking to Mitt, and you kept going, he's 22 years old. He's 22 years old. He's 22 years old.
He's 22. He's 22. Remember, he's just 22. I was dumb, too. I was dumb when I was 22. Dumber than him, probably. All right, let's just go ahead and on. Let's not bury him. It's not Dark Prescott, okay? It's Dak Prescott. When I was 22, could I have made that mistake? I think I could have. I'm not smoking as much dope as Mitt. Well, I did probably do that, but they hit me a little differently than Mitt. I do a lot of self-talk, AJ, a lot of self-talk. You a self-talk guy?
No, I don't think I am. I mean,
ever?
What?
Come on.
I don't think I've ever seriously had any like self-talk. Come on, here we go. This is time. What's activate? I've never done that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, obviously, you don't self-talk the same way Deshaun
I'm not saying I have nothing against it.
Well,
I
it
think
sounds
there's
like you're
definitely
trying to portray that.
No, there's
Yeah,
a use for it, but it's not. It doesn't feel. It's never come up naturally for me. So I don't know. Maybe I need to take a chance, as you said before, and start doing it a little bit.
Nah, if you haven't done it thus far, you've won a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know if now's the time. You know, I think you've maybe gone past it. But listening to Aaron Donald talk to himself was some of the most like motivating shit I've heard. You know, because he's in that basement at Penn Hills. They did that video, him lifting with his dad or whatever, and then all of a sudden, whenever he's on the field, like, he's recalling all the, like, hey, let's not forget now.
Yeah.
Listen, let's not forget everything we've been through. It's like, yeah, who's we? But let's talk about it. Matt Stover did a lot of that. That was the first time I really got introduced to that. And that guy's kicked for 25 years or whatever. He was very, very good at what he did. But he had accrued a lot of things that he had, had to go. It was the first time I held for him, I was like, are we all right back there?
Full monologue.
Is everything okay? And then I started doing it as I got older. I was like, God, this is where Matt Stover was at. Vinatieri didn't do anything until his game winner, and then he just acted like I didn't even exist. It's like, all right, I'll get the fuck out of your way. Let's go to Ryan in Florida. What's going on, Ryan? Don't leave Florida ever. It is so cold everywhere else.
You're right, it is cold everywhere else, but we're also a melting pot for natural disasters down here.
Doesn't get talked about. What do you want to talk about, Ryan?
First of all, shout out to you, Pat, AJ, and the boys.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Appreciate the call.
Shout out.
I just wanted to know if you, as a Colts fan, are worried at all that you're going to have to fade your boy Carson Wentz because he is 14 and 26 against the spread the past 3 years.
Ooh, it's a new year.
How much time does he get? How much time does Carson Wentz get to figure it out?
With me, he's got however long he needs. You know what I mean, Carson?
Nice.
You come in and you take your time, pal. You find yourself a nice home out here. You go shoot some skeet, birds, duck, fish, whatever you want to shoot. Do whatever you got to do. You know the offense already, right? You already know the offense, I'd assume, because Frank Reich is there. I assume he's already pretty comfortable in the situation. They're going to have to get some weapons. Now, they got Michael Pittman Jr. who had 503 yards last year and 1 touchdown. He's still going to be there. Maybe Chris Godwin comes to the Colts. I think it all depends on who are all his offensive weapons. Because T.Y.'s up. He's potentially going to be somewhere else. He was a big-time part of our offense for the last, 6 years, 7 years or whatever. Jack Doyle's going to be here. That's good. Michael Pittman's going to be here. That's good. But aside from that, he's going to need a couple weapons, and he's going to need a left tackle. If we get a left tackle, get him a couple weapons, I think people are going to expect a lot more of him quicker. But I think this is the same thing as Phillip Rivers was this year. First couple weeks, he stunk.
Lost the Jags.
So he lost it. Joe Dirt picked him off to win the fucking opening week and lose the Super Boost to start the whole season. But I think Carson Wentz will have some time. But if they're not in the playoffs or whatever, I mean, that is going to be – I think you're going to see something potentially happen quickly after that.
Yeah, I don't think he has a ton of time. I mean, I don't know what that means. I think you should give him a full year to figure it out. But just with the weapons, with how good their defense is, how good their offensive line can be if they get the left tackle situation cleared up, I think they're ready. They know their window is here, and hey, let's do it. Carson, you're our guy.
We have another update about Tiger's crash, but before we get to that, let's put a bow on this conversation. AJ, Jim Irsay came out and said Frank Reich picked Phillip Rivers over Tom Brady. Okay? Now, Frank Reich is the reason why Carson Wentz, if Carson Wentz is broken and this team doesn't go on to do big things or whatever, like what is big things, I guess, do you think Frank Reich is potentially in a little bit of a predicament? Jim Irsay came on and said, Frank said Phil, right? There's a reason Jim said that. It's not just like, hey, brother, I let my coach do whatever. There was a reason he was like, hey, listen, this is this. Now he's got Carson. If they don't go on a run here, do you think Frank has something to worry about here in Indianapolis?
Yes, I think he definitely does. And if you probably don't know this, but I don't know if you ever heard golfers speak. A lot of times golfers after the round, they'll say, they won't never say like well, we thought, we were 175 and we hit a 7-iron, like, and they've been doing that a lot lately, like meaning me and my caddy, we are one, we're a team. Now, Jim Irsay, you would think the owner would say, hey, we thought Phillip Rivers was our best option, or we thought this is what we're going to do. But when you assign that to somebody, it's like, hey, if it works out, you're the man. You're going to get an extension. If it doesn't work out, both of you can get out of here.
Hey, we will start making decisions from that point on. I do like that because the caddies, I think they make like 1/20th or whatever what the player makes. So I like the we thing.
And caddies are treated too. Like, I think caddies have their own like cafeteria. They have their own areas. Like, they don't get to hang with the regular golfers like when they get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, we thought the 7-iron was the right call. We live in our cars. Well, it's my job to kind of go out there, keep things light. Which fat are we aiming at in the crowd? That whole thing. I respect the caddy a lot, but that whole thing. All right, we got some updates here on Tiger Woods. Pictures of his car have been released. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's missing the whole front there.
Every single airbag has gone off. It seems to be on the side of a cliff. The whole front end got taken off. It seems like he hit something.
It's a one car accident too. So he hit something and rolled over and he rolled down a hill.
It does look like he rolled down a cliff or a ravine, which happens in Los Angeles. I would assume more than in some places because those roads, they're like goat paths, some of them going around some of those hills out there. I don't know the specific area he's in right now, but that car does not look great. Jaws of Life was used to get Tiger Woods out of that vehicle. Let's hope he is okay. That does not look fantastic at all.
Hopefully he's the only one in the car, right?
I do believe it was a single passenger. I think he was all by himself.
If he's out there for work as well, who's probably just along heading to the site.
Yeah, but you would think maybe there's a potential
PR,
Golf Digest,
publicist or something.
It is on the side of the door. It just says Genesis Invitational, so it's not his car. It looks like it's a car that they got that they gave to him probably for the weekend or whatever.
We assumed it was a rental.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Tom.
I don't believe it was a rental.
You're saying it was part of the
Genesis
gift package.
Yeah, all the golfers get cars when they go to tournaments.
How do you know that?
Because I've seen them driving around Columbus when they have the Muirfield tournament. They have.
What about the houses there?
Big trucks. Guys can rent stuff if they want, but guys have big trucks full of cars, and they all say like whoever the main sponsor is, and it says like official vehicle, and they give the golfers one.
What about the houses over there? Is there just the golf course has all the houses that the guys stay at? Do they hotel? How do the guys stay normally?
I think it depends. I think some guys rent houses wherever they go. Some guys get hotels. Just depends on what you want to do.
Have you ever seen like a house that gets rented by those golfers? I would assume they would go pretty extravagant.
Right behind me, house behind me, someone, I don't know what golfer was. I think last year, 2 years ago, golfer rented it, yeah.
The house behind you or under you?
Behind me. I don't have a house under me.
Oh, so you're
in the basement?
Oh, the house is behind you right now.
The house that the golfer rented it's this way on the other side of my monitor.
So you lied there just a couple seconds ago.
So it's the other way.
So it's actually the other way. So now what can we believe? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What, if you lie about the little things, what can we believe?
Question.
That's the thing you were asking us just a week ago. Now we find ourselves in the same predicament. That's wild. What are you going to say, Dix?
Statement from Tiger's agent, Mark Steinberg. Tiger Woods was in a single-car accident this morning in California where he suffered multiple leg injuries. He is currently in surgery, and we thank you for your privacy and support.
Fuck. Wow. Go back to that picture. Leg injury here.
Yeah, that's
multiple legs.
Yeah, and he's in surgery already, so that's broken, right? Shit's at least broken if they're doing surgery. It's not like it's a stitch up. Can we go back to that photo? Or?
And Jaw of Life for sure had to rip something up.
Yeah, so, and it looks like the whole front end got shoved back in there. Golly. That's the greatest golfer of all time right there. Making a comeback, too. After watching that documentary, I fell in love with Tiger Woods watching that documentary, basically. Anytime he's in contention, the world goes crazy. It was nice to kind of see him and Charlie a couple weeks ago. Obviously, now we hope everything's okay. That stinks, though. That absolutely stinks.
So that happened this morning out in L.A.?
Yeah, 7:12 a.m. they answered. So I don't know when it happened. Golly, dude. Think about Tiger, by the way. Driving there and then just fucking. That's a scary moment.
Very.
You drive in L.A., by the way. There's some roads in L.A. You know, L.A. is this fairy tale world or whatever. You get up in the mountains a little bit, up into the hills. You're driving on these tiny little. It feels like you're back in like Europe almost when you're driving around, and you look to your right and you're like, oh. So there's American lions down there and a cliff that I could just fall off of. Hope everybody's okay. Jesus Christ. Legs back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Is Tiger going to come back and play?
How can he?
MSNBC just put out a video. It looks like it's a neighborhood. It's like an overhead shot. And it looks like it's right outside of a neighborhood.
Okay, so maybe he was in an Airbnb. Hope he's okay.
Shit.
Probably driving to the shoot, right? If he's there with Golf Digest, he's driving to the shoot in the morning.
7:12 a.m. If he's not playing, I guess, so it's not the same schedule. We're told he's up 4:15 a.m. or something like that. 4:30 a.m. hitting balls. But I look at the luggage. It looks like he's probably going to the airport. Bro, that's... Oh, really? Yeah, he had a day of shooting, though, so he probably had his luggage with him and then was going to go. That's a lot of stuff. Well, he's probably going to go...
Where? Sitting outside the truck or what?
Yeah, let's see what they collected. It must have fell out and they put it all together in one spot. So maybe he was checking out, doing his shoot, heading home, back to Jupiter or whatever. Yeah, but 4:30 a.m., I think, 4:15 a.m. he was up, they said. Jeez. Every single day. Then he had some, it was either, I don't know if he immediately went into strength training or it was just like, here's his day. And you're like, oh my God, this guy, real robot. Like this guy, this is why he is, by this time he's doing this. By this time, like down to the minute, he'll be doing this. He's putting from this point to this point. He'll have 15 minutes here to get a break. You can walk with him. Then there's this and this and this and this. It's like, holy hell. That is unbelievable that's been his life, basically, his entire life. You could see how you could potentially stray if your life is always in a COVID protocol.
Scheduled from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed.
By the way, that's how the top they say they are.
Yeah, Brady, I assume.
Brady, Marky Mark, J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
I guess they just have The Rock. Yeah. Now with the Young Rock getting involved, I don't even know how he has time.
Wahlberg.
Yeah, Marky Mark. Let's go.
Hey, when's the next new episode come out?
Tonight, dude. 8 p.m. Let's go. Greatest debut in the history of sitcoms, I think, is what The Rock said.
AJ knew that.
What was that?
Whoa. It said since 2017.
No, I didn't see that. I said greatest debut of a sitcom, and then I said
on NBC since 2017.
NBC is the home of bangers.
A lot of sitcoms on NBC.
Jeez, Jay.
Show some
Hey, it's just on Peacock, though, right? You can't catch it like on regular NBC.
No, it's prime time, Bob. And you can also watch it on USA Network on Monday nights after Raw, by the way. They aired episode 1 and then right into Straight Up Steve Austin. I do believe they kicked Straight Up Steve Austin back another half hour, which Steve Austin did not deserve. Okay, but Young Rock, they moved it right over to USA Network after Monday Night Raw last night or whatever.
WWE's been very good at posting Rock clips on Tuesdays as well.
Yeah, I do believe WWE probably
produced it or something.
Investor.
Yeah.
Had to guess.
I tell you what, I'm glad Coach O was in the opening episode, though.
Oh, yeah. We got a meeting. Standing like this. I put coffee in my lip. Right, he looks so thin. Coach O was like, you know what? Happy they got that thin guy for me. Yeah. Go Tigers. Let's go to Zach in Pennsylvania. What's going on, Zach?
Hey, Pat, how's it going? Shout out to the boys. Hey, AJ.
Thank you, Zach. That means very good. Shout out to you,
Hey, buddy.
Shout out to you.
How's it going?
Hey, not too bad now you said hello. I mean, I'm learning some terrible things about Tiger Woods all of a sudden, but everything's okay. Circumstance, obviously. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I can't really hear you very well. But season T's to Tiger, you know.
There we go.
Season P to Ty Schmidt.
Oh, yeah, his butthole. Yeah, we do have to pray for Ty's butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a couple of colonoscopies. You know, they're not friendly, so.
What do? They just go up there and look around, a little peeksy? Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, well, why? Like, if you got bad, like, intestinal issues and stuff, you know, they go up there and look and shit, so.
Well, I hope everybody gets checked.
You're very gassy for 24 hours after, too.
What's that?
You're very gassy.
Why, they just pump you with air?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, what do you want to talk about, dude?
Well, I was calling to talk about, Jack Easterby and where he might trade Deshaun Watson. I was thinking maybe to the Bears. I thought Zito would like that.
Oh, and I do see Zach was also thinking maybe for Khalil Mack, send Khalil Mack down to Houston.
Oh, no.
Hey, get out there. Z, you guys going to get rid of Khalil Mack over there?
I haven't heard anything in the grapevines yet, but I'll let you know if I find out.
Let's go to Eli in Oregon. Last call here before we have to end our serious show. Eli, what's going on, dude?
Hey, Pat and the boys and AJ.
Hey, Eli, what do you want to talk about? I like this guy, Eli. I like this guy.
Lifetime Colts fan, by the way. First off,
go for the shoot.
but I wanted to say I love that J.J. Watt single-handedly showed that the demographic of the NFL fan base is a bit old. He tweeted out, mitochondrial is the powerhouse of the cells, which is a popular meme about how they didn't teach you anything that actually matters in school, like taxes and stuff.
Oh.
And you got all these internet sleuths going, that has the same number of characters as the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a lot of that during the quarantine for a lot of different situations. I do believe there was a lot of alleged subliminal messages being sent by people that we knew and did not know. The fact that mitochondria has the same amount of characters as Buffalo Bills, I would not put it past J.J. Watt. That was a calculated tweet. That was a calculated tweet. He knew it. We knew it. That guy knows it. He's a Bill next year.
Can't believe it. Signing with Buffalo.
He said it right there in mitochondria.
It's over.
School was the dumbest. I mean, I didn't pay attention much, but school was the dumbest, I think. I mean, what was that shit? And those people that were teaching that bullshit knew that it didn't matter, and they were still just flooding us with it. Chris Mad Dog Russo with Mad Dog Unleashed. Trailblazer in the sports radio business will be next on SiriusXM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio. We'll be back tomorrow with a massive show. We can't thank you enough for spending time with us here, wherever the hell you may be. Chris Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Unleashed will be a better show than this one. We'll see you, Mignani. You got about 6 minutes. Cheers. To that guy's point, school was so stupid.
So dumb.
Why was I offered French? Spanish should have been the only fucking option. Why was I even offered French?
It's like 3 different languages.
Yeah, well, was school okay? Yeah, the whole mitochondrial thing and everyone breaking it down. I think I read that he's going to 27 different teams from that one tweet. If you looked online at the thing trending, so I tried to look at it and I was like, man, this is not my thing. I'm just going to back away from this one. I didn't care too much.
He could have said osmosis, which has the exact amount of letters as Tampa Bay.
Oh, true. If you rearrange the letters in mitochondria, too, it spells out Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, you can't spell Minnesota without mitochondria.
Yeah, huh?
Let alone, if you look right in mitochondria, the word RAM is right in there.
Oh, geez.
Isn't it? RAM. Wow.
So all of a sudden...
Where's he going? If you were J.J. Watt, where would you go?
Go home to his wife.
L.A.
Go to Chicago, baby.
Your brothers.
Oh, okay. Definitely not Chicago. That's not even a choice, I bet, for him.
You're saying he doesn't like his wife? He doesn't love her?
You know what? I think TJ's girlfriend also plays for that soccer team.
Zach Ertz. Wife.
She also plays there?
Yes.
Are they the only team? TJ Watt? I think TJ's.
We just have a powerhouse of a team. The Chicago Stars are very good.
You're on it? Are they the only? How many teams are there?
I'm going to guess 20-something.
No.
I'm going to guess 8.
I'm going to assume you never even knew the team existed.
Chicago Stars? I own merch. I wear it all the time.
You were given merch.
Yeah, still. I wear it. I love the Chicago Stars.
Yeah, it looks like she, in 2020, was on the Chicago Red Stars.
There's 10 teams.
So that makes sense that JJ and TJ, can make trips together from Pittsburgh to Chicago to visit the significant other.
Traffic this time of year, don't do it.
Is there? You're right. Traffic is crazy, especially in the sky. Does Pittsburgh have a team? A female professional soccer team?
Absolutely not.
Would you know that or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would know that.
Why not?
I know every team that's in that city.
Do you?
Yeah.
How about the Pittsburgh Power? You remember the Pittsburgh Power?
The indoor female football team?
Yeah, they were unbelievable. Hey, they were a fucking powerhouse. They were not fucking around. That lingerie football league was happening wherever. Not the Pittsburgh Power. Pittsburgh Power were taking fucking heads off. I watched a game. I watched a game of the Pittsburgh Power. What about the, what was that indoor lacrosse team? Stingers? Yeah, bingo.
They didn't have an indoor lacrosse.
Yeah, we did. Pittsburgh had an indoor lacrosse team. I think it was the Stingers. No, that was indoor soccer. The Pittsburgh Stingers were the indoor soccer team. There wasn't indoor.
I only know about the River Hines, okay?
Rhinos? Was it something weird like the Rhinos or something?
What, the lacrosse team?
Yeah.
Crossfire. No.
Wasn't the Crossfire.
Pittsburgh Power.
Pittsburgh Stingers were an indoor soccer team, I think.
We ain't lacrosse city. We're football city, okay?
Well, you know every team in the city. You said.
Yeah.
The
River Hans.
PA lacrosse is also very, very good.
River Hans, Pirates, Steelers. I'm forgetting.
Pennsylvania lacrosse.
Oh, River Hans is one.
Pittsburgh Stingers, 1994 to 1995.
You didn't fucking even know they existed.
Fun while it lasted.
Don't exist.
It was the league.
I wasn't even born then.
It was the entire. You were, but
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah. Okay. It was the. I had dreams of playing for the Pittsburgh Stingers at one point. If you had a strong leg, you could terrorize indoor
Just
soccer.
set your goals any lower. Jesus Christ.
Well, goals did get larger as we grew up. Obviously, I'm 7 years old when that happens. I see some guy kick a ball. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna fucking terrorize these indoor soccer leagues.
How about the Pittsburgh Hornets?
Who are they?
Some hockey team.
Hockey team.
I don't know who they are.
Oh, Pittsburgh Explosion?
Thought there was only one hockey team in Pittsburgh.
Well, it's hockey time. There's a lot of hockey
It's a junior team, you stooge.
You fucking
okay.
idiot, dude.
Oh, junior team. I thought we were talking professionals.
Oh, the indoor lacrosse team was the Bulls.
The Bulls, Jay.
Pittsburgh Bulls.
Some horn thing. I was close.
Rhinos Charge.
So, yeah.
Oh, the Pittsburgh Piranhas.
They were a good team.
Yeah, that's an
pro
awesome
basketball team.
Where would you go if you were JJ Watt, AJ? Legit. Would you go to Tampa? I mean, that just seems like the easy thing. I'm just going to go down to Tampa. They've already won. Is it going to continue to happen? If he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, does he hate his brother? Go to Cleveland, Buffalo? I mean, there's a lot of play. It would be hard. I would assume it's pretty difficult to be JJ Watt right now, while also being incredibly, awesome with teams just saying, come fucking play football for us.
Yeah, I mean it's a difficult decision, but it's a great. He has a great problem that he's facing. Like, hey, I have multiple options on where I can go. I want to pick which team gives me the best chance to win a Super Bowl. So yeah, if you think Tampa, maybe. Has anyone said Kansas City? Could they fit him in?
I would assume, right? I would assume Kansas City could fit him in.
Why haven't they been? Why, like
Kansas City, by the way, everybody has forgotten about. Now, granted, ESPN put him at number one, and the sports books are going to put him on there. They had three missing offensive linemen in that Super Bowl. They still could have tied that thing up against. Everybody's thinking they're dead. By the way, I told Baron Corbin, your team's dead, never going to make. They are not dead at all, and they are still going to be a place where people are ring chasing. Yeah. They have not been talked about in the J.J. Watt sweepstakes. Maybe that's where he'll go.
Yeah, I mean, I would think Pittsburgh would be enticing to him. I'd want to go play with two of my brothers if they were on the team. And if Big Ben, well, that's the thing, though. JJ's not going to commit to Pittsburgh when they're not committed to a quarterback yet, are they?
Well, not only. I mean, Big Ben's potentially holding that entire franchise back, just like Drew Brees potentially is holding back the New Orleans Saints.
Where is that now?
Okay.
Where's the Drew Brees situation now?
So we are 37 days. Somebody put out this tweet this morning. 37 days since the Saints have lost, and there's been no conversation about what Drew Brees is going to do going forward. Adam Schefter said on Rich Eisen, I think yesterday, he said on Rich Eisen that if it wasn't for Drew Brees coming back, Tom Brady would have been a New Orleans Saint. I guess Sean Payton was potentially having that conversation. And Sean Payton's probably balancing like, hey, Drew, can we get some sort of answer? He's like, I got to sell smoothies. Okay.
Hold on.
I got to try to burn the world down real quick with a quick interview. And then Sean Payton's like, well, you do know, like, what's currently happening out here. And Drew's like, all right, I'll come back. All right, $25 million. I'll just set the standard for Tom Brady over there. Schefter came out, though, and said Tom Brady would have been a Saint last year if it wasn't for Drew Brees coming back. Now we're in the same situation, and it's like, how many quarterbacks are they going to let pass by while they wait for Drew Brees to come back? Drew Brees is loved in New Orleans. He's loved by the Saints players and everything like that. But is Drew Brees a guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl still at this point? A lot of people have questions. And if not him, is it Jameis's team? Ooh. And at what point will we make that announcement, you think?
Well, did Drew go in and meet with like the ownership and Sean Payton again about coming back? Didn't he? Wasn't there a meeting that would happen a few days ago?
I would assume Drew Brees, they meet with him. They come to him, right? Drew Brees, like he has at his house, they fly to him.
I mean, I don't know how it worked, but I know maybe 4 or 5 days ago there was talk of, hey, Drew Brees wants to play again. And I felt like everyone said right after the year, like, hey, this is it. He's going to be done. And now we're in between and they don't know. And the Saints are kind of in a weird spot.
Well, and there's all these quarterbacks, too, that are available. Imagine Russell Wilson. I mean,
Sean Payton's licking his chops at getting Teddy Bridgewater back on the cheap.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater, I guess he's out of Carolina. He still follows him on Twitter, Carolina Panthers, so we can't go that far into the whole thing. But these older quarterbacks that, I think have earned the right to do whatever the hell they want at this point. Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger, they've had a hell of a careers, Super Bowl champions, obviously. But if you're a franchise that potentially has to move forward, and they're seeing the way the NFL is going right now, where it's like an arms race. Like, hey, we need to go, especially if you're a guy who's considered an offensive, guru like Sean Payton, you would have to think he's like, hey, Drew, maybe a little bit. Can we get a fucking answer here so we know what we're doing? And I would assume Drew Brees and Sean Payton have a love for each other and respect for each other where that'll happen. But that was interesting what Schefter said about Tom Brady becoming a Saint if it wasn't for Drew coming back. And it's like, are the Saints fans happy to hear that? Because I'll tell you what, when I found out Phillip Rivers was chosen directly over Tom Brady, I had some questions, and I was just a Colts fan.
Yeah, I don't think the Saints fans can be super happy. But, I mean, Drew is a legend there forever, no matter what he does from here on out. So I feel like, yeah, he's not going to change his legacy there. But, yeah, I think every team, if they knew that there was even the possibility that they could have gotten Tom Brady and then they saw what happened this year, what he did in Tampa, yeah, they're feeling
And that's when Jim Irsay goes, it was that guy's decision.
That's unreal.
It was awesome. I assume he didn't mean it like that, by the way. Jim Irsay, super nice guy, but he was being completely transparent. Brother. And that makes
what
me
about
think
Ballard, though? Where was Ballard on all of this?
On who? On who he liked and who he didn't like?
Yeah, like wouldn't the GM is usually the guy that's pulling the trigger on that move.
We asked him, didn't we?
Yeah.
I will not confirm nor deny that happened or whatever. On draft night, I said, hey, there's a rumor, Chris, that you picked Phil Rivers over Tom Brady. Is that? I will not confirm nor deny that or whatever. So I would assume Jim, Chris, and Frank had a sit-down meeting of the minds to see how this goes. And Jim saying, it was Frank that said he wanted it. That at least has been a topic of conversation in Jim's life. Whether he meant it in a negative fashion or not, I assume there's people around Jim that are like, all right, we gave him Phil. We're going to give him Carson. They can't say that we haven't given him everything he wants at this point. You know what I mean? And that is very, very interesting because Chris Ballard's big about culture. Who fits in, who doesn't fit in, who likes, who doesn't. So I would assume he just kind of had to ride the wave as well there potentially.
Well, Frank Reich absolutely has to have supreme confidence that he can get Carson Wentz back to what he once was just because his job kind of, I feel like, relies on it. If Carson comes in and it doesn't work out, they're going to be looking for someone else, I think, at the quarterback and at the head coaching position. I don't think it should. I don't think it should be all on Frank Reich, but hey, he obviously feels pretty good about it.
You think Carson Wentz has any chance of playing football good again?
I mean,
I hope so.
For his sake, I hope so. Oh yeah,
I hope so too. But
he
dude,
does.
Dude, they put together a low light video of him that I got tweeted the other day from last season. He was worse than we could ever even imagine.
Those low lights, he didn't have anybody to throw to. He didn't have an offensive line.
And he had a coach that he hated.
Exactly. You get him a left tackle. He's already got Jonathan Taylor. I mean, Marlon Mack, I don't know if he's a free agent, but he's got him too. You get him one weapon, and he's already got Jack Doyle. He'll be fine.
He doesn't have his jersey, though.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe that's good.
New Jersey, fresh start, like Jesus coming out of a cave.
Oh.
Maybe he wears 33.
Whoa.
Maybe it's a 0, like a cave.
Or the fish
Double
symbol.
0, dude.
What if it's the fish symbol?
What if it's an 8?
Infinity?
Yeah, infinity.
Infinity thing, and he has to turn it sideways, like it's the back of a car.
Wait, the 0 was representing the tomb that Jesus came back out of after
The
3
cave.
days?
The cave.
It wasn't a tomb.
This isn't Raiders of the Lost Ark, AJ.
Yeah, stop watching Game of Thrones, dude.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Would you-
haven't seen it.
Would you feel better with Goff or Wentz, Pat?
What's that?
Would you feel better with Goff or Wentz?
Wentz for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Really?
Really?
One
They're
complaint
being
of cold.
compared a lot.
What's that?
I said they're being compared a lot.
They shouldn't be.
No, Goff had every opportunity with an offensive mastermind, weapons. Wentz had a coach who hated him, no O-line, no weapons.
Now, if Goff was worth next to nothing, and Wentz is worth what he is worth right now and being paid, I would go with like rookie contract Goff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If his contract wasn't what it was now, I would go with rookie contract Goff. Because Phil Rivers didn't move much. Goff can't move much, but he can make every throw. Got a good offensive line. But with the contracts, that is what, I don't claim to be a football savant, but you have to look at the contracts whenever you're comparing whether or not you want a fucking player on your team. That was something that was missed in this entire Carson Wentz thing with me. It's like, if we can get Matt Stafford for what he's owed, let's get Matthew Stafford as opposed to what Carson Wentz is owed. But now we're in we owe this guy fucking $70 million boat, and let's go ahead and hope he plays football good.
Hey, I mean, Jared Goff is not in an easy situation. He's going away from everything he's known as an NFL player. Sean McVay, we know he schemed things up for him. You're going to a Detroit team that, You got to learn a new playbook, and it's also like in a full-blown rebuilding mode. So let's see what he is. Maybe, who knows? What if Goff is better than ever?
Heck, Goff might be better than ever. And also, the new ownership up there is involved in every decision.
True.
So
Yeah.
that could change, you know. Back in the day with the previous Ford owner in Detroit, I assume pretty hands-off with the entire thing. Matt Patricia would just call and say, hey, this is what we got going on. New owner, Sheila Ford Hamp, she's involved in personnel, free agency, kneecap biting, the whole thing. She wants this to be a restored franchise. And if you look at the hiring for the coaching staff that Motor City Dan Campbell has put together, it seems like he's got a lot of people buying into what he's got. He just came out on a quote and said, I was just talking to Chris yesterday. Everybody's calling me a meathead. I love that, man. I love that. They think I don't have a lot of brain capacity. They think I'm meathead. I love that attitude. They might have something special. What if Goff is the man who saves the Detroit Lions out there?
He could be. Like, that's the thing. What if Goff goes in there and he single-handedly, like, he saves everybody? The whole city becomes even bigger Lion fans than they were. I played there when they, like, I know you've been there too, Pat. That place gets loud. Like, it's fun. The dude playing the piano, the organ on the sidelines, I don't know his name, but he's awesome.
Yeah, they have a whole song. There's like, what's the song whenever they score a touchdown? It's very catchy.
It's the cheesiest song ever. I can't even think of it.
Oh,
it's so bad.
So like the
Lions
Patriots, for
fans.
instance. This is It never stops, by the way, especially whenever we were playing there. It seemed like that was
This
fun.
one's like forward down the field, and then it just keep
it's
just
like a
that
whole
beat, though.
And they do it after every song or every score.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that leads it on the sideline, and he does like a full showman. Are
you kidding me?
Yeah, dude. It happens.
So they played that, what, twice during the 0-16 year?
Yeah. They played it, though, with vigor. As if they were undefeated every single time. Packers had something, too. What's the Packers one?
They have a bunch of different, like, roll out the barrel. They have different things they play at different times during old school Wisconsin traditions.
Yeah, the NFC North, the Vikings, the skull.
Yeah.
Right, they have the whole thing. The whole sky.
The horn, the horn, too, they have in Minnesota.
But we got a team in here. And this is like a chant. Now every time I beer, we got a score. That whole thing is, yeah, you're right.
That's a great horn, by the way.
Good horn.
Thank you. I don't know if I could ever do it again.
That was amazing. Holy shit.
I was really in it there.
I looked if you had a corn.
Yeah. Well, you know, Duck Call just got the Duck Call thing.
Oh, yeah.
I got the Viking horn if they ever need to give me the mic or whatever. But the NFC North has a bunch of those. Chicago has some shit too, don't you guys?
Yeah, Bear Down, Chicago Bear, like the whole
Those are
thing,
nice. I like those because you kind of teach the fans, like, hey, everybody can participate, even if you're the worst fan in the stands.
Whoa.
You kind of, what's that?
Shit, were the worst fans?
No, like even the shitty fans that aren't like active fans.
Dolphins
and they just
got
kind of
one,
sit there.
too.
At least there's something for them to do. It's like, oh, everybody's doing this.
Join in.
The Colts have tried to figure out something like that for a long time now.
Pretty quiet in there.
They don't got one?
Pretty quiet in there.
We had they started spelling out Colts, you know, like the Jets have the JETS thing, starts to COLTS, the whole thing. That I thought was pretty good. They did away with that. Then they had some engines that roared a couple times, very loud. Very loud.
That's some Indy cars.
Fired up.
Yeah, that's what it was about. They got rid of that very quickly. I mean,
some eardrums.
They've tried to do some things, and it just has never really stuck.
They should take Ursay on a guitar. Every
First
touchdown.
down.
Yes, they should.
They drop them from the middle of the field. Just
Awesome.
At Heinz, when they go in the red zone, the ketchup bottles spill over and then they pour it down. They should do that with oil, for Lucas oil.
Everyone will be slipping.
Yeah.
It'll be slippy hour.
Renegade
Lucas
models.
Oil, Pat, don't you think Lucas Oil is just, it's too nice. It's so big. I mean, it's amazing. It does its job. It hosts like the Big Ten championship game. Like they can have all kinds of games there. Like it's just such a perfect venue, but it's not like the perfect home venue for his team.
It's not built for sound. You know what I mean? Like it's not. That night when Peyton came back, it was the loudest I've ever heard it, which is awesome. But there was times, you know, where you think to yourself, like, oh, this is the Lucas Library here. This is very nice. Look how comfortable that person is in what seems to be a lazy boy recliner up there with perfect Wi-Fi.
So
you know,
comfy.
like it's voted as like the best visitor experience or whatever.
It's amazing in there.
Yeah, your seats are the size of this desk. You know, it's hard not to just kind of be like, okay, good work out there.
The food options are amazing in there,
but
too.
the RCA Dome, the old place that used to be here, that place, I guess, used to be built for sound. Like, it was tight, it was in there, it was echoey, it was loud. They got accused of piping in noise a bunch of times. You always want to be at a place where it's accused of piping in sound because it's like, okay, this place is so fucking loud, people think we're faking it. Lucas Oil Stadium will never have that problem, ever. It would never be like, hey, you know what, they're cheating with how loud it is in here. But it is a beautiful stadium. But, you know, you go to other places, Houston, place is loud. Seattle built for sound. Basically, they said they put that stadium together for sound. I like that I like that environment a lot. But if I'm watching a game now, I'm 33 and retired, put on a little sidecar here a little bit, that Lucas Oil Stadium seat is very nice. I mean, it is very, very nice.
I agree. I would love it. I love how comfortable places like that are to watch. But yeah, I'm also not usually going to be the crazy fan standing up and yelling. And if I'm at a concert too, like I'm not going to be going crazy as much as other people may be going.
I mean, it depends on what song comes on, but the
Bret Michaels? Come on.
You weren't standing?
Yeah. Are you serious?
That was standing room only. There was no seats in that venue.
Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn, just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Jim Irsay. Come on. That would be electric. Maybe that's what the Colts should do. Yeah. Get Bret Michaels in there. You know?
There we go. You don't want him in there. It'd be a little too windy in there. The RCA Dome was literally downtown where the convention center is at.
Yeah, it was a parking lot. Yeah, it used to be fucking ratchet.
I was looking at it. That's insane.
Yeah, they said it was loud in there. Like
yeah.
Loud. Yeah. I never got to experience it.
I didn't play in there, but I went to a Monday night game there when I was, young in high school. I don't know why we ended up going. I didn't go to a whole lot of football games, but we watched Peyton play. I think the Bengals maybe, and it was unbelievably loud. Like, I think the first play of the game, Peyton threw a touchdown to Marvin Harrison, and it was on from there. But that place, yeah, that was built. That was like one of those old school domes that everything bounces off each other. Like, and the fans knew it too. I think they used it to their advantage.
Well, and also not only because Peyton could do this and the entire city was quiet, but then on defense you had Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis. So when that place got very loud, the offense normally had a lead. At that point, it was like, okay, now we got two Hall of Famers that are going to eat, and your offensive line can't. That home field advantage is a very real thing, and Lucas Oil Stadium is very nice. But it changed that a bit. I never got to experience it.
Bob Sanders thumping people out the back, too. Jeez.
Yeah. I got to play with him one game.
Bob? You play with Bob?
Yeah, I got to see him. I didn't play. I mean, I was never on the field. He was not on the punt.
Yeah, but you were on the team. Like, Bob was one of my favorite players ever.
I got to watch him. I think it was against St. Louis. I forget. I think we went back and got this. He was hurt. He was coming out of an injury, and it was my rookie year. I never talked. At training camp, he had headphones on. Then he would go into the training room. He would talk to people, and then he was like it felt like he was like kind of a quieter person, you know. And it wasn't like, I'm not going to go up and be like, hey, Bob, what's So he and he missed a couple games. Then he came back. In that first half, he came back. I think a forced fumble, an interception, something else, just fucking boom, 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 chaos, just absolute chaos. It was like, holy hell. But the way he played, I think he even knew, like, hey, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Yeah. Like, that's kind of how it was. It was awesome to watch it. We got a chance to chat with him at Dwight Freeney's Ring of Honor. Still got it.
He is yoked.
Still got it, by the way. Really? And he and I did talk.
I didn't recognize him. I was like, is that a current player right now?
Yeah, he is. He could probably still go get it if he had to. I mean, I don't know how long, because he tried to kill himself, it felt like, every single play or whatever, but he was unbelievable.
How disgusted do you think he is when he watches like the flags being thrown on DBs now for penalties? Like on
him, Troy, Troy, Ed, those guys that used to just eat people, like they used to just absolutely eat back there. It's a much different game now. Bob Sanders does get forgotten about because I don't think he played as long as people thought. He was defensive MVP the year they won the Super Bowl or whatever. It's like, there's a reason that he's that good.
He's just a missile. He was killing dudes.
Yeah. Legit.
Like, how scared would you be trying to catch a ball up the seam when you know Bob's back there?
21's just like lurking, by the way. Because he had those instincts like Troy, too. Like, he was a ball hawk. He was always there. and then he was coming with 40 to 45 inch pythons both sides. Like, hey, this dude is built like a defensive end. He's flying around in the back.
Like partially why they had to change the rules was because of guys like Bob Sanders.
Yeah. That's got to feel pretty good. That's got to feel pretty good.
It's like Freeney with the chip block.
I would they had to change. He got triple teams or whatever. He doesn't want to change that. It was Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
It was Bill Belichick that started to fuck over Dwight Freeney, which in turn has fucked over every pass rusher. Speaking of fucking over pass rushers, the franchise tag list is very interesting. So when you get in the franchise tag game, the franchise number is the top 5, might be top 3 now, but when I got franchise, top 5 salaries at your position without bonuses. So whatever your salary is, top 5. In the conversation, if it's a tight end who gets franchise tag, the wide receiver number is like 7 million more. He's a predominant wide receiver. He's a catching tight end, that whole thing. The outside linebacker defensive end separation is like $3 million difference for the franchise tag. For instance, Shaq Barrett, 18.9 million outside linebacker. Bud Dupree, Pittsburgh, potentially getting franchise tag. Outside linebacker, 18.9. Ngakoue, defensive end, $15.4 million. So it's like if you do get franchise tagged as an outside or as a defensive end, your agent's like, no, we're outside linebacker because it's $3 million different. That's where the drama kind of gets into this thing. The thought of the franchise tag being a much bigger deal this year because nobody knows what's going to happen with the salary cap is a real one. I'll be excited to see if Judon gets another franchise tag, Dak gets another franchise tag. There's going to be some decisions that are made strictly because the future is uncertain when it comes to the salary cap. Even though the NFL is renegotiating TV rights because they're going to 17 games, the franchise tag thing this year I think is more interesting than it's ever been because nobody knows shit about what the future of salary caps are going to look like.
Well, and they don't know what the future of the next the next TV contracts are too. Did you read where I guess they're saying they are $1 billion off on negotiating this?
How much?
$1 billion between the TV companies and the league, I guess, on what they're trying to get.
What'd you say, Mill or Bill?
Bill, Bill.
So it's not really anything if you think about $100 billion is what that deal is supposed to be worth, right?
Is it? It's $100 billion for how many years?
10. It's a 10-year, $100 billion contract, allegedly, is what they're negotiating.
No, my bad. They're off $1 billion per year, they're saying.
Okay, so it's $10 billion then that they're off.
I guess over the course of the contract.
Which, by the way, is a tithe.
Yeah, that is. So I guess, hey, Easterby could save the day. Come in and say, hey, let's just send that $10 billion to my church. We're good.
Holy shit.
That's the show.
That's right.
Got to pay tithes, dude.
It all
Gotta
comes
pay
together.
tithes. And looking at that deal, by the way, a lot of numbers are getting exposed about the previous deal. NBC won in their negotiation with the NFL. Sunday Night Football, their deal was $960 million or something like that. Yeah, $960 million a year. Fox pays $1.1 billion. They have the afternoon game and a lot of games. CBS pays $1 billion. They also have a handful of games. They also have to pay Tony Romo and that whole thing. Disney, for Monday Night Football, annually, $1.9 billion for the game. They said now, the NFL came out and said in a report or something, I forget who it was, it's probably in this, but I don't want to read through the entire thing, that NFL told ESPN that although you only have one game and it's not going to be that good of a game and you don't have the flexing ability like Sunday Night Football has, which is moving games to make them better, and they're paying less than half that you're paying. If it wasn't for the NFL, you guys wouldn't be ESPN. So you're going to have to pay tithes for everything else that you're also paying. $1.9 billion. ESPN lost that negotiation with them. They're not moving. I guess they're saying we're not budging. I think the NFL is looking for everybody else to do the same thing. I'll be intrigued to see how it all plays out with the salary cap, because as these NFL guys continue to go, the way I think networks were trying to spin it in a bad light, they're like, the NFL is looking for double the money, even though the ratings have gone down, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but in comparison to everything else, the NFL knows, like, we're the motherfucking show. We know it. You know it. If you want us to leave, cool, we'll go somewhere else, but you're going to have to pay us. This is like Whitey Bulger back in Boston.
Yeah.
Whitey in Boston, whenever he was running, would walk into your business and say, hey, you want to operate or not? Yeah, this is what you're going to do. You don't want to operate? Okay, cool. Get the fuck out of town.
Hit the road.
That's what the NFL is doing to all these networks. And by the way, they have all the leverage in the world because if you look at the ratings versus everything else, dead. Absolutely dead everywhere else. Nick, what were you going to say?
It was Pat Bowlen. He was the former Broncos owner, and in his time when he was still alive, he was the chair of the NFL Broadcast Committee.
This one's for Pat. Shout out Pat Bowlen, just looking at ESPN right in the face. Now you're going to pay us an extra $1.1 billion. What's that?
Hey, where is Thursday night going to go? Because I know I read where they said nobody wants the Thursday night package.
Well, there was some people that wanted it, but the price that it was getting added to it with Amazon's additional money that they were handing out for that thing, I think it all revolves around the package for all these people. The package. We want to know the package. We want to know the package. And I think ESPN's only allowed to show so many highlights too throughout the week. Like on their shows, they're allowed to show them. Some of their social accounts though aren't allowed to share highlights. I think that's in the deal because I'll go on Get Up and I'll say something and they'll release the video and they'll cut out the highlights that were on the live show and not have them on the social thing. And I was like, why is that? And they're like, well, we're only allowed to share a certain amount of. So like there's those details in the contract with the NFL, I assume are very, very poignant. And the fact that they run everything now, we'll take Thursday night, by the way, if they.
Sure.
We'd like to throw our hat in there. We'd like to do the NBC style of negotiation, though, and pay less than half of what everybody else is paying. But we would like to throw our hat in there against Bezos and YouTube, probably Google, probably get involved in that whole thing.
Hey, might as well jump in, though. Why not?
Rest in peace, Daft Punk, by the way.
Rest in peace. Miss you, Daft Punk. Thank you, Daft Punk.
ESPN, though, still, Connor, yeah, I love it. First, you look great. But ESPN, if they get out of it, if they don't keep Monday Night Football, then they're out of the NFL. Like, so then do they lose some of those highlight packages, too, of what they can show?
Yeah, I would like to hear. I thought Jerry was a large part of the media thing. That's why I guess Pat was as well. He came out and said that. But I always heard Jerry was a large part of the media deals. That's why Dallas is always on primetime and everything because they're like, hey, let's make the guy. It's like Cards Against Humanity. We talked about this earlier. When you're playing Cards Against Humanity, you have to play the person that's in charge. Okay, so what will this person find funny? You don't, not what you think is the most funny. Yeah. If you want to win the game, you got to play what that person you think would find the most funny. Because everybody plays Cards Against Humanity, and they're like, oh, this is hilarious, and the person reads it, it's like, not for that person it was. You got to play the person. I think a lot of these TV people, because Jerry was involved, they're like, okay, let's put Dallas in here. Let's do this whole thing. But if ESPN backs off of this, they don't get Monday Night Football, which I would assume Monday Night Football is going to be a hot commodity if that thing is up, especially with Bezos being able to buy whatever the hell he wants, whenever the hell he wants, however the hell he wants, let alone Apple and Google. And there's a lot of content places that have so much money, so much money that would potentially want this. ESPN would have to negotiate their own highlights package in, right? That's what they would have to do. Then they are just like everybody else. You get this amount of rights. You're allowed to do this with this whole thing. And the NFL goes, thanks. How you doing? Keep it moving. We'll see you later.
Yeah. ESPN, wouldn't you say the Monday night games, like if compared to Monday night, Sunday night, and then like Fox primetime game or their like afternoon game, CBS afternoon game, like Monday night is probably the most least viewed of all those, right?
Monday night games stink. Now, listen, the commentating booth changing or whatever, but back in the day, Monday Night Football was a mini Super Bowl every week. It was like, hey, this is the best the NFL has to offer. This is a showcase of the greatest league of all time. It was on ABC back in the day. I mean, it was like appointment viewing for every football fan. It has not been that. Now, is it because of the booth and everything like that? Potentially. Is it because it's not as grand? But the matchups are a big fucking deal. Like what the teams are is a big, big deal. And there's a lot of those ESPN games where you turn on and you go, oh, who gives a fuck? I'm going to go ahead and change. And then you listen, you're like, oh, okay, so this isn't like the greatest booth I've ever heard. And the game stinks. All right, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. If that's a good game, you can put slime in the end zone and people will watch it. You know what I mean? Like it is, I think that's where ESPN's probably most pissed off, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think they're back and forth through the league all the time trying to get a better schedule. Like, hey, we want to bid on this, but we need to have some kind of assurances that the matchups will hopefully be better than they have in the past. But hey, it's tough. Like if you're picking the lineup before the season, who do you know who's going to be good?
They're not even in the Super Bowl rotation. You know what I mean? They pay the most amount of money, not even in the Super Bowl rotation. I mean, Pat Bowlen, when he came out, rest in peace, Bob. When he came out and said, like, yeah, basically we told him, like, if it wasn't for us, you guys wouldn't even have a fucking network. So you got to do what you got to do. I mean, the NFL fleeced them. Now, the NHL and ESPN. NHL leaves ESPN, basically isn't even a league anymore. They go to NBC. You get a couple primetime games. Okay, this is cool. NBC Sports Network about that. NHL is somebody that needs like an ESPN. They need to be like, for instance, when my lady and I were walking through the resort or whatever, every single bar had ESPN on. Right? Is anybody watching that bar at that thing? Not really. Is anybody listening? Not really. If that person was to go on there and say, hey, buy Celsius energy drinks, they're the best energy drinks, is anybody listening? No. But you are seen. Like, there's a lot of things being seen just naturally because where ESPN is. NHL needs that. Okay, so like ESPN probably knows that too. Like, hey, you need to be seen so people know that you exist still. The NFL, they can go create their own ESPN if they wanted somewhere very easily. I mean, the NFL Network, if they wanted to put that thing into more homes and make it bigger, they could if they wanted to. And they know that. That's why life is all about leverage, baby. Who's got the leverage? How do they have it? How big do they got it? And the NFL has got a big swinging leverage dick over ESPN for some time, and they still got it, I think.
And, I mean, that's why they had to create Disney Plus, make up for all the lost money that ESPN's just pouring down the tubes.
Which they have made up for 10x.
Tenfold.
Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'd assume. They had like, I forget how many million subscribers on like
50.
the first day.
Oh,
But
on the
aren't
first
they-
day,
but-
I think they reached 50 million subscribers, though.
But on like the first day, I think they had like 10 million or something.
Yeah,
Like, it was like,
ridiculous.
this has immediately become like the second most subscribed, blah, 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 or whatever. But
Who's
Disney,
checking that?
10 million
Is
the
it-
first day.
Can anyone audit that? Can we audit their subscriptions? Like, who knows? Like, they're the ones giving us the info.
Says they have 95 million subscribers.
Good
yeah, so that could be bullshit. We don't know. Who knows? But that's a lot of fucking subscribers.
Yeah.
At what point do you think Disney says, hey, we're sick of ESPN wasting our money? All right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Will that happen? Will that ever happen? I mean, ESPN Plus. I am a whatchamacallit because of the fights or whatever, to watch the fights. I'll watch Peyton's Places. I enjoy that. But is ESPN Plus moving anybody right now? I don't think so. That's their big attempt, though, I'd assume, right?
Oh, yeah. That's why UFC is on there, a lot of fights. And I just don't, man, I don't know if it's bringing people. I know they want big events to drive subscribers to ESPN Plus because everyone wants their app to get tons of subscribers. Like, that's the new push. But I don't know. Like, I'd like to see their growth. Is it still like an incline for subscribers?
ESPN Plus or Disney Plus?
ESPN Plus.
I don't know. Because we won't know until they have to publicly disclose. Disney, obviously, a publicly traded company. That's why we have the 95 million has to be accurate, because you can't just be cooking the books like that if you're a publicly traded company. And now how much of ESPN has to be disclosed because of the Disney ownership? That's an interesting thing.
Well, especially when ESPN Plus, their big drive is all the fights. So, like, you get those guys immediately, but where's
And by the way,
growing?
that wasn't their thing at the beginning, right? They were trying to, like every content platform, everybody's trying to do this, right? Vince McMahon did this first. He was called a fucking idiot. You're going to lose so many fans whenever you build your own network and start charging people and give away your pay-per-views on there for $9.99 a month or whatever. Then he had 2 million subscribers and everybody's like, oh, this guy's a fucking genius. We got to do this. So everybody starts going to their subscription model, right? The goal is always to get people in there, and then how do you keep them? That's which is what you were referring to. Yeah. ESPN has put a pretty good investment into things to keep people on ESPN Plus. I am not a person that sticks around over there. I should. Maybe if they keep making Peyton's Places, I will. But that does seem to be a retention issue with ESPN Plus. Does seem to be a problem.
And the way they bundled it too, you get Hulu with it as well for $12.99. So that's like you get all three of those. So ESPN Plus is just like a little like side thing.
Well, Hulu doesn't have live sports. It's a fraud.
Yeah.
Hulu does in fact stink.
Wait, actually, is that them just saying ESPN Plus is their live sports?
Because UFC's on there.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Is that how they get around it?
There's some NHL games on ESPN Plus too, right?
Yeah, lots of college basketball.
Yeah, the ABC games as well, and the ESPN ones for basketball.
I just subscribe to get mock drafts.
No updates.
Anything? Hey, is there any info on Tiger?
No.
Well, that's what I was just. Here's TMZ is reporting that this is the audio from the crash. That's TMZ. Obviously.
I got their commercial.
It's the quietest helicopter I've ever heard. So that's a nothing. Oh, dispatch audio. Here we go. That's TMZ.
You're going to be on the southbound traffic lane between Beauty Drive North, Silver Spur Can I get a unit to go ahead and start blocking off southbound traffic from TV Drive North? Eastern 173, Audible, take that. 173, back. Hey, go ahead. Eastern, those cars, the last ones, you have all southbound traffic blocked off from Hawthorne and North. Copy, thank you. Hey, ma'am, do we have an ETA for fire? We have a rollover with someone trapped. Just got off the phone with them. Let me call them back.
Very calm.
Is there a immediate unit on 10-6? 71, top 2. Hey, I'm going to need a unit to accompany the ambulance transport to HDH, please.
Is it HGH?
In or from the city.
General Hospital. Not much there.
This other tweet saying that his injuries range from moderate to critical. Like,
He had a
what-
surgery though, so it had to be something.
What are you saying, Connor?
I'm just saying that's a wide range. I just.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think.
They do that
Critical's
to
bad.
specific.
Yeah.
Moderate's not that bad.
There's a oh my God, come on, brain, do it. I watched this documentary and it was just like there is an actual group of humans in LA where they are not the fire. They're maybe a part of the fire department, but their job is to get people that have fallen off the roads. And they were looking for like a new truck or something like that. This happens, I think, out in LA I think it happens more often than we think because of this whole thing, but it's always scary, obviously, anytime we have tiger. But there's an entire crew, I think, that actually goes and pulls people out of that whole thing. You're Googling it right now, Zito?
Yeah, it's very, very. My Google search is group of people in LA that helps people on the side. I forgot road.
Or cliff. Two very
car rescue.
Two very
California car rescue or something like
I'll
that.
stick with that.
No, it is. It's
The one
its own.
video actually didn't look like it was a cliff. He like went across
It
the
doesn't.
road.
Yeah. From the outside angle, it's just a street, and then like 20 yards to the side, and then there's houses. Like another.
So
like,
it's not a cliff.
No,
Doesn't look like it.
So how'd it roll that much?
He must have went in and then rolled that. Like so, he must have something in the road, hit the dirt, and then started rolling that way.
Yeah,
That was
where
it.
the tracks were, it looked like he might have hit like a patch of like dirt, sand, and then.
But there's
while he
there's
was
not a
turning-
lot of room there. The photo they show from the top part looks way more than you actually look at the video.
I wonder how he got.
Yeah.
Why is my phone beeping?
Sometimes when I talk to my phone, it beeps.
No, I don't have
Siri.
Yeah, I don't have Siri turned on. Never have, never will. Don't listen, bitch.
You'll see after. There's a video in the group chat that shows his path.
Yeah.
She does listen, by the way.
Oh,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
No matter what.
Those are the cookies of what I've learned.
The East Coast. So a few hours now since this has happened. So 10-12
There's a
on
median.
the East Coast.
Yeah, probably.
So a few hours now since this has happened. And clearly investigators are still trying to figure out what exactly went on. I know Andy Blankstein a moment ago was talking about another car, but again, from the aerials that we have seen, and again, this is all happening as we are speaking, so bear with us. But
fuck
from
did
the
he get through
aerials that
there?
we've seen, I so far have not seen.
Hey, so he goes across road, median, cross road. Looks like there's some trees and shit, too. Gets on the other side of those. I mean, I think, obviously, at this point, anytime you need jaws of life, lucky to be alive. But that whole thing, that was insane to think about. How'd this happen?
It's very close to the house. Like there's houses like.
Yeah, here's the MSNBC video.
Hey, so when he crossed the median, was he going into oncoming traffic then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So if he was turning right.
Scary audio when they say we have a rollover with one trapped.
Yeah, but then he ends up on the other side of all those trees there. Look, there's cops looking through. He's over there.
How did he thread the needle through those trees?
That's what I'm saying. How the fuck did he?
So he
We probably hit one of them, judging by the front of that car.
Yeah. Yeah, but he still made it all that way. Was he going 100 miles an hour? I mean, how do you even?
Maybe he was swerving to avoid somebody coming at him.
There are no skid marks though, so it doesn't look like he ever reacted to anything. He just
So the
went.
median seemed like it might have popped up on him real quick, sent him into a.
Something. I don't know.
Wouldn't you start hitting your brakes?
You'd think.
Tiger Woods.
And he never did.
You hit
go
sand
anywhere,
too.
it
It's
looked like.
tough to. You can really roll.
But it seems like he stayed on. Can we run that video back? Shout out to MSNBC, by the way.
He's going like.
Go back.
Going right.
Okay, so Is this all one way?
No idea.
So that's where he went through the median right there?
Yeah, he goes through the median, then he gets back on the road, and there's what? No skid marks.
Oh, I see that now.
That's a tree shadow there. He didn't hit that telephone pole somehow.
Oh, those are.
What the?
How the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
Someone's going to have some dash cam footage or something, like eventually.
If this was Russia, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Russia's got everything.
What are you saying? What are you saying about Russia?
They got the cameras on all the hoods. That's when you just see humans just getting erased.
They got pigeons saluting Putin. I mean, they're watching everything.
This is the car.
Yeah, that's from the opposite angle.
God.
Jeez.
Darn.
Have you ever been in a big wreck like that?
Can they show the?
I crashed my Shelby in my driveway.
Is that the one? Is that the one you crashed with Sam in the car and you told her, "Okay, we got to break up now"?
Yeah, it was early in our relationship.
She told me that story. Unbelievable. You crashed the car. You were embarrassed, and so you said, "All right, we're done. You got to go. We're done."
Yeah. The plan was just never have to see her again or talk about that ever again. She said, "I'm not leaving." And
good for her.
We got to get this car towed because it is still beeping and the alarm is broken right now.
Did you make up a story to the tow truck? Like, yeah, I don't know. It was my crazy old cousin took it while I was sleeping. I don't know what happened.
No, and also I needed to get towed from my driveway to my barn, which is just down one little road. The tow truck guy had quite a chuckle. You know what I mean?
It is a first.
He said, "What happened?" So I was trying to drift it, you see, and the pothole just got here yesterday. I used to be pretty good drifting that thing, and then it turned. It'll turn on you. You know what I mean? I guess it'll turn on you.
DK.
You hit a pothole in the driveway, so I mean.
I did. That pothole was not there. Maybe the 100 times I've done that before, by the way.
100
times. Bad time.
Yeah.
Really
I was
sneak
drifting
up
that
on
thing
you.
out of my house, basically.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's 600 and some horsepower rear wheel drive stick.
Gotta take advantage
So
of that.
anytime you hit that thing a little bit, it goes. It's like, oh, wait a second. And I got obviously a circle in front of my house because I'm very wealthy now. I hit that thing around the circle and it just starts spinning. I'm like, okay, we can do this every day, basically. And it just became like natural habit. And then all of a sudden that fucking pothole came out of nowhere and that into a tree. Took the tree out too. I'd take the tree completely out.
I mean, I think it's unbelievable that Sam wasn't mad at you. Like, I would have been mad at you if you were just trying to drift with me in the car.
She'd probably been in there before with a successful drift out of the driveway.
Yeah. Each time she probably said, like, yeah, this is fun until it's not, until you smash a tree.
They all say.
Sam isn't soft, though. You know what I mean?
Drift King, dude.
She's not.
DK.
Is that what you meant, DK?
Tokyo Drift.
What?
I used to really be able to float that thing. I don't do it anymore at all. I'm scared to the death of it.
I'm surprised you don't have some kind of tractor or something in the barn that you could have towed it yourself.
I do have a zero-turn
A lawnmower.
lawnmower that probably could have pulled that thing if I had to guess.
That thing's nice.
You put that thing in the rabbit mode, that thing will probably pull that son of a bitch right out of there if I had to guess.
Test that.
Man, I hope Tiger's all right, dude.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
The LA County Sheriff's Department told CBS News Los Angeles Woods' injuries are non-life-threatening.
That's a plus.
All right,
That's
some broken
good news.
legs.
His legs, right?
So he's not going to die.
Hopefully.
Will he golf again? Will Tiger Woods golf again?
With how bad
This is going to be.
Let's hope
It's
so.
going to be a huge thing for the next couple weeks, don't you think? Like, when's he going to make his first on-camera remarks?
Oh, we're going to get a video of him in a gun.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be putting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're going to be like, we have not seen the end of this story. I hope so bad.
I was reading something else. End of this week, he was supposed to have like an MRI for his back. So like,
Maybe
that itself,
maybe
like,
it fixes the back.
oh come
It
on.
just feels like, with all the injuries he's had, it's
Don't
if something's
Connor,
just
don't
there-
say it. Don't say
With
it,
those
dude.
fucking glasses.
I'm not saying
Don't be a piece of shit right now.
You mother.
Someone's got to be a realist. I'm just saying, like, that sucks. With all the rehab, all the stuff that he has to do.
Yeah, we're talking about Tiger,
Yeah,
dude.
it's another great comeback story, dude.
He was already rehabbing his back, Connor. Now he just rehabs his legs and his back.
Oh, yeah. That's easy.
I hope so, dude. All right, let's get out of here. By tomorrow, I assume there'll be some sort of update on Eldrick Woods and his condition. Hope he's okay. We have a massive show tomorrow, AJ. Don't worry.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
You want to turn it into a cuck show tomorrow?
Yeah, make sure you send me another text. Hey, pal, what are you doing? Trying to make my show a cuck show? Word. First off, what information did you get, and what are you talking about?
I do like to think of you sometimes with your family, you know, your wife just sitting
Get a
around,
text
and then
like
I
that.
send you a text and you just look at your phone and, oh, God, what the hell is going on? By the way, big congrats to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron.
He is officially engaged.
Hell yeah.
I mean, he announced it in his MVP speech, but officially engaged.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Came out all over mainstream media. His love life is now documented with Shailene Woodley.
Yeah. Great ring. Great job, Aaron.
He
Did she show off her ring?
I don't know. I have no idea.
There's a photo.
You've known him a long time.
Yeah.
This
What
seems
about it?
pretty awesome, huh? They've been doing this for a long time. How'd they keep it quiet? That, like, you know what I mean? Like how the fact that they were both like, we're not going to talk about this for a while. It's really awesome. She has no idea what the fuck a football is, it sounds like. And she's like, no, a big fan of it. Like I'm pumped, genuinely pumped for Aaron at this point. That, you know, he seems to be, you know, it seems like life's coming full circle for the guy.
Yeah, he's growing up. Like it's like what Josh Norman was saying earlier in the show. Like priorities change, things change, and he finds the right one. Man, he's 37. He's still super young. So who knows what the future holds for them?
He will debut as Jeopardy host April 5th. The official announcement has come out. I mean, he broke the news on this show months ago, I think, at this point.
Oh, yeah.
April 5th will be his first time on there. I think he's going to crush it. He's engaged. He's going to be the best host that Jeopardy has seen as a guest host. He just won the MVP. He's about to get a restructured contract. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, congratulations. Wow. Maybe we think about doing the same thing next year. You know, maybe Aaron Rodgers Tuesday next year.
Yeah, might change
These good things just keep happening. Let's think about it. Just think about it over there. You know, when you're in Naboo, over there in Malibu, over there in Naboo in the house.
So is he hosting for a full week of shows, like 5 shows?
I would assume it's 2 weeks. I think because they film them the same day. I think a couple days. Like last night, for instance, the executive producer of Jeopardy was the host because with COVID, they couldn't get somebody who was supposed to be there. Ken had to go do The Chase, which is a show that him and Jeopardy James and somebody else are doing. So the executive producer was actually the host last night. And I think he did an okay job. I listened to his open. It seemed all right. Interview seemed okay. But yeah, April 5th, I guess, is when he starts. He's going to crush it. I think it's 2 weeks. I think he'll do 2 weeks worth of shows, I think.
Go. Okay. Yeah, there's little interviews where they go talk to each contestant. That would honestly be the toughest part of the whole show.
Yeah, that was where Trebek's, you know, cynical smartassness would always just quick. Oh, nerds. All right, you. What's up? Well, how can I bury you for something you do? The choices of things to talk about by contestants on Jeopardy is always very fascinating to me. You know, it's like Wheel of Fortune, too. You get a chance. You know, you have that whole thing. I have been married for 20 years to the love of my life. We got 2 fantastic children. I work as an accountant, and I love the show. Been watching for 20 years. Okay, fantastic, Sajak says. And you also like dogs. I have a dog that barks 2 times. And then they move on. You know, the choices of what they choose to talk about is always very fascinating to me. It's really the only reason to watch the show, you know, aside from being much dumber than the people on TV. I'm excited to see how Aaron handles that as well. You know, will he dive in there?
Well, it'll be fun because, you know, all those contestants, they have like a pre-show interview. Like, okay, when he comes to you, what are your talking points? So then they want the host to kind of know how to serve you up, how to give you a softball. And then you can tell the awesome story about your dog that barks twice.
I'm reading here that you once totaled a Shelby GT in your driveway. Expand on that. Yeah, I crashed in my driveway. Good. Okay. What's your name? That's literally.
Yeah.
And then if you're a champion, you have to go into the well, you know, a couple different stories. Day 4, day 5, it's like, okay, here we go. Let's learn about this person that doesn't love talking about themselves, has not really been a storyteller much, but they're smart as fuck. And that's when Trebek used to really, you know, that's when he used to go. Aaron will do the same, I think.
I think the best move would be for a contestant maybe to throw Aaron off a little bit, first person give your, tell your little story, whatever. He transitions, get to the next person, and they're like, I'm good, man. Let's just play the game. Move on. And you got to go to the third person.
Aaron just being like, respect it.
Yeah, that's all.
Would you like to do the same? All right. And you, let's get out of here. I think Aaron's going to crush that, by the way.
He will. He is a true fan of the show and all of Alex Trebek's work.
And he knows the answers.
Like that's gonna be his hardest thing. Like, is not laughing when he knows and nobody buzzes in or they get it wrong.
By the way, Ken Jennings does a couple he did a couple wow moments. I wonder if we'll see any of those out of Aaron. Like, because Aaron has come out and said he enjoyed doing a celebrity one, but he would like to, hey, put me up against the real nerds here. Yeah. Like, I feel like I can compete against not just the celebrities or anything like
champions.
That. I think I can go. This would be a good test, right? If
there's a football section and there's just one of those moments where he asks it and nobody beeps in.
He might be the answer one of those.
Yeah.
Jane Lynch was an answer on the Weakest Link the other day, and guy got it wrong. He promptly got voted off.
RESPCT?
RESTCP. Have you watched The Weakest Link? Still got its fastball.
I haven't seen it recently. I see clips of it every once in a while. I'm surprised it's still on.
It's back. It's not still on. It is back, by the way. And Jane Lynch does not get enough credit for her hosting ability. She is quick. She is very funny. And there are some characters on that Weakest Link that are just the dumbest humans of all time. Jane Lynch?
Yeah, I see one.
She's awesome. I'm a big Jane Lynch fan. RESTCP.
Thought he nailed it.
No. There's a lot of strategy in that game. None of them let it go. They always bang.
You got to build it.
Let that thing go. Build it up. Have a little faith in yourself.
Hey, was that Regis' show back in the day?
No, he was.
You are the Weakest Link.
It was that British lady.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was like the prime time when those shows were killing it in like 8 p.m. every night.
Good bite.
Yeah, she was a savage too.
She was.
Yeah. Jane Lynch still talking a lot of shit. It's 2021 version of shit talk, so it's a bit dialed back. But I do believe she could assassinate any one of them with a verbal joust if she wanted to, and that is why I appreciate it.
She's an improv lady, right? Doesn't she come from like an improv background?
Yeah, almost say.
Whatever, she doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah. Well, now we are here to give her credit.
Crushes and role models.
Crushes and role models.
Role models is that one where the guy drives the big bull energy drink.
Yeah,
I know that one.
Taste the beast.
Should have been drinking Celsius.
Minotaur.
Yeah. Should have been drinking Celsius.
That should have.
All right, that's the show. See you later. See you tomorrow, AJ. Thank you, buddy.
All right. See you guys.
See you.
Hey, no cuck talk tomorrow, all right? See you.
Come on now. Honestly, don't send me a text tonight about any random question either from the show because you don't. Or you'll send me a text, you respond once, and then 4 hours later you respond when I ask you a question.
Well, the thing is, whenever I reach out to you, I have something that needs to be chatted about right now. And everybody knows I'm probably going to forget about it if you don't answer right now. You don't answer until 30 minutes later. I've moved on. We're in a much different place now than we were 30 minutes ago, okay? We have moved on. There's fire trucks outside.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I'll see you.
It's time.
One of my idols growing up was Alex Trebek. And being able to be on Jeopardy years ago, even though my wardrobe outfit wasn't the greatest choice.
No, it doesn't matter. Everybody's dress is very bad on that show.
They're doing some guest hosting spots, and it's going to be released here pretty soon. But I have the opportunity to do one of those.
Let's go! Did you watch Ken last night? Did you watch Ken?
No, I didn't see Ken last night. I was watching some film and checked in on the college football championship as well for a little bit. But I'm excited about that opportunity with Jeopardy.
You're going to crush it. Ken Jennings did everything that he could last night. Good show. Show must go on. Jeopardy's too good. I also am a watcher. Would never want to go on the show because I get one right maybe every 30 minutes. So not really my thing, but I can't wait to watch your episode.